Hello everybody, my name is Roxanne Wolf and welcome back to another reaction video. Happy Valentine's Day everybody! Yes, this will be uploaded on Valentine's Day, so you guys will see it there at that time. But as you can see, I'm wearing my dress today because, you know, it's Valentine's Day. I thought I'd look pretty for Valentine's Day, you know. So today we're reacting to the entire history of FNaF by John from FNaF. So if you guys are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, never miss another one of my videos. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's.
And that's Five Nights at Freddy's. Let me stop it right when the sound stops here.
The scariest game of all creation.
Oh my goodness, everybody, all these YouTubers who played the game, oh my goodness.
Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you guys about Five Nights at Freddy's.
That sounds like Fusion D Gamer, but all the way back from 2014. Oh my goodness, that's how old Five Nights at Freddy's is. Yes, this was uploaded on August 8th, which is August 8th of 2022, which is basically the anniversary, the 8th anniversary for Five Nights at Freddy's. So there's that.
What's up YouTube, what's going on? Corey Kinchin here and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's! No, this isn't gonna be a good time.
Kudos to the guy who's made this horror game series.
Yeah, for real, like if he didn't make this game, I would have never existed. Like seriously.
Obviously.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey Scott.
If you're hearing this, that means that you beat 50/20 mode, and I have to do an interview now.
That's funny.
I was gonna try and keep it going for a while, but...
DJ Sturf. He is an incredible, I would almost call him a speed...
And yes, this is going to be a special video for Valentine's Day, because, you know, why not?
runner of Five Nights at Freddy's games.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and
Hey, Mark! Welcome back. Another clip of Mark.
welcome back to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah!
Oh, everybody remember this, right? Anybody remember this? Mm-hmm. That's when Matt Pat got excited over Music Man. Yeah.
Let's go! Music Man!
And everybody made a video about it. There was even a remix about it. But I'm sure most of you know that if you know Matt Pat well enough. The entire history of FNaF. John, please don't give me a copyright claim because that would be bad. And honestly, I'm just trying to get this video out for the people. So please don't give me a copyright claim. I mean, other people reacted to it, but still.
Today, the day I'm uploading this video, is Five Nights at
August 8th.
Freddy's 8th birthday. Five Nights at Freddy's has...
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is getting close to a freaking decade old, bro. I cannot believe that.
been around for 8 years, which means there's actually fans of the franchise that are as old as the games are.
Oh, I did not think about that. Yeah, there probably are fans that are pretty much as old or even younger than the Five Nights at Freddy's games. That's crazy. Or the first Five Nights at Freddy's games. Wow.
Which is crazy to think about. Even though I was 14 when FNaF began, I've been along...
You're 14, damn, you're young. So I'd say now he's 22, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere around there.
...this ride since basically the beginning. And I thought it'd be pretty cool to bring a few of my friends on this video to help share their stories about FNaF and how they first found the games and how the games have impacted their lives. So this is...
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is a crazy game, man. It's a crazy franchise, honestly.
This is kind of a double video. You get the entire history of FNaF, but also a major collab between a bunch of FNaF YouTubers telling their stories about the franchise along
That's crazy.
the way. So without further ado, let's get into the entire history of Five Nights at Freddy's. And this story doesn't begin where you may think.
2013. Oh, I see. Okay.
FNaF may have been released in 2014, but its true beginning goes all the way back to December 29th, 2013.
Yeah, I remember the Chipper game, and I never played it, but damn.
When Chipper & Sons Lumber Co. was released by Scott Cawthon. After creating various animations and RPG games such as The Desolate Hope, The Desolate Room, and Eye for Moon for many years beforehand,
Okay, some of these I don't remember, but whatever.
Scott Cawthon decided his next game was going
Then again, I am a pretty young animatronic, so...
to be Chipper and Son's Lumber Co. The game centers around a beaver who is just starting to get into the lumber business, and the game came with mixed reviews, with reviewers stating that the characters in the game looked creepy and resembled animatronic dolls. The game itself doesn't have much
Oh, well yeah, I remember that. I remember people talking about that, but damn.
to do with FNaF. It's these reviews that really sparked the idea that would later be known as Five Nights
Ducko even played it.
at Freddy's. Scott wasn't all for making FNaF right away. He actually had to choose between 3 games. He decided he wanted to give game making one last try before he moved on to a different
And thank God he did, because people chose one of the best game franchises of all time, because honestly, Five Nights at Freddy's has come so far. Oh my goodness.
career. He was deciding between, quote, a sequel to Desolate Hope, a remake of my first game, Legacy of Flan, or a new idea about animatronics and security cameras. Receiving
And thank God the fans chose the ones with the animatronics and the security cameras, also known as Five Nights at Freddy's.
negative reviews on
Because again, if Five Nights at Freddy's never existed, I would have never existed.
something you worked hard on is not fun and can be very demotivating, but Scott eventually decided to embrace
Listen, I like existing, okay?
the reviews and try his hand at making a horror game based around creepy animatronic dolls and security cameras. This is how FNaF was born. We don't know much about
That's
Scott's process.
crazy, bro. That is crazy. Like, even before Five Nights at Freddy's, oh my goodness, that is crazy. Like, I have never thought, like, people would have never thought that Five Nights at Freddy's would have come this far as it did anyway. The game is still not dead. That's crazy. It might even last as long as Minecraft has so far. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
While making the first FNaF game, but we do know some things that he hid in the newspapers in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. In the blurred text on the sides, Scott revealed that Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were just placeholder names while he was creating the game, and that he slowly fell in
Oh, that's crazy.
love with the names as he continued production. We also learned that Scott modeled Foxy while in the car on a 14-hour trip to visit
But yeah, that is crazy. He literally designed Foxy in the car. That's crazy. I mean, everything about FNaF is crazy, but still, like, that is just, wow. Imagine designing a 3D model in, while in a car ride. That's crazy.
his in-laws in the summer of 2014. He said, quote, it's very difficult to model a 3D character on a bumpy car ride. Maybe this is why Foxy looks so torn up. While we
I guess that's how Foxy got that iconic look, right? Because Foxy has that iconic look where he's all torn up and oh my goodness. That's crazy.
were visiting, my kids got to experience Foxy's jump scare for the first time. He also said, quote, in real life, I tend to have waking nightmares, meaning that I walk in my sleep, etc. One night, I dreamt that Bonnie was in the hall outside my door. As I jumped out of bed and rushed to hold the door shut, I discovered that the door was locked, and it filled me with dread. In FNaF 1, when the doors don't work, it means something is already in your office. So when I felt that the door was locked, I felt like Bonnie was in my bedroom and was about to get me.
Oh, damn. Imagine having a dream like that.
Thankfully, I woke up. Scott
Imagine that happening to you in real life. Holy shit. But yeah, damn. Thank God he woke up, for real.
Scott also revealed that he started a crowdfunding campaign for the first FNaF game and raised a whopping $0. He continued,
Of course.
saying, quote, in the original game,
$0. Why? That's such a good game. Okay. Wow, okay.
Freddy was never originally meant to move around the diner and was only meant to get you if your time ran out. This
Oh.
was changed before release. Scott
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
loved interacting with fans, but was otherwise a very private man, so these short paragraphs hidden in the newspaper of FNaF 3 were a welcome surprise to a community that was hungry for as much info about the series as possible. On
Okay.
June 14th, 2014, less than 2 months before the game's release, Scott Cawthon uploaded the official gameplay trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's to his YouTube channel, simply titled Five Nights at Freddy's. There are rumors that Scott uploaded a slightly different trailer before this one that was removed, featuring an endoskeleton with sharper teeth, but Scott never has officially confirmed that was the case.
Oh, wow. Wait, really? That's crazy. There are a lot of things things I didn't know about FNaF, but there are a lot of things I do know, so there's that.
One of the most notable things in the trailer is the fact that Bonnie is seen running down the left hallway and not Foxy. This was later changed during the development process. Another notable thing is the ending scene where you see Bonnie ripping off his face. It's possible Bonnie originally had a bigger role to play in the game, or Scott just featured the character more because he personally thought that Bonnie was the creepiest.
I mean, I guess fair enough, right?
A month later, on July 13th, an official gameplay video of FNaF appeared on Scott Cawthon's YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
The video is only 2 minutes and contains gameplay from Night 5. One interesting thing to note is at the beginning of the night, you can see a sprite of a person with the number 1 next to them, indicating that there possibly used to be a set number of lives you would be awarded at the beginning of the game/night. This was later taken out of the game. The first Five Nights at Freddy's game was officially coming into its final form, ready for its official release, and about to start an 8-year-long journey of everything from Purple Guy to Fazgoose. So
That's crazy, dude. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that Five Nights at Freddy's has been a thing for over 8 years now. I still can't believe that.
So here we go. The demo of
Fazgoo.
Five Nights at Freddy's was released on IndieDB on July 23rd, 2014. There were not many people playing it at all close to the demo's release, except for one person. There seems
who is that, I wonder?
to be only one person who received not just the demo, but the full game almost 2 weeks before its official release. And that was Ben the Scoopist. Ben was
That's... okay.
the first ever person to post a gameplay video of Five Nights at Freddy's on YouTube. In the video, he mentions that he previously played The Desolate Hope on his channel and that Scott sent him FNaF early.
Really excited to play this. He actually
Oh, nice. Lucky you, bud.
came out and gave it to me, which is so cool. It's actually on Steam Greenlight. I'll throw all the links up to his website, to the Steam Greenlight.
Ben's video only sits at 50k views despite being the first ever playthrough of FNaF on YouTube, which blows my mind.
That's crazy. Wow. You wouldn't think that video would have gotten more views. But then again, you know how the YouTube algorithm works, you know? I'm just kidding, don't sue me, YouTube. Okay, let's continue.
Full game was eventually released to the public on August 8th, 2014 on a website called The Sura. The game blew up almost instantaneously because of one YouTuber who decided to make a Let's Play video about it, Yamimash.
I like how he showed Markiplier, but yet the answer was Yamimash. That's kind of funny.
On August 10th, 2014, only 2 days after the game's release, Yamimash posted his playthrough of FNaF. He was one of the first YouTubers to play FNaF, and it seemed like his audience loved the game. His video then caught the attention of a young Markiplier, whose channel was at roughly 2.7 million subscribers at the time. Markiplier's Let's Play was posted on August 12th and was an instant success, garnering over 7 million views in its first month.
That's crazy.
It's FNaF! Let's just start at the very beginning, baby!
Hey, Raz! This is Raz Boski, everybody, just in case you didn't know, or couldn't tell, but, you know.
FNaF! F-N-A-F!
What?
I discovered FNaF, like probably most of you out there,
Very funny man, of course.
via the king, Markiplier. Markiplier was playing this brand new game,
Oh, do you remember that when Markiplier called himself the king of Five Nights at Freddy's? Oh my gosh, dude, those were good times, man.
Nights at Freddy's, and
oh my goodness, and I've only been here for a few years. I was only built a few years ago, but still.
just turned into an internet sensation.
It just feels like forever ago, man.
It swept across the nation back in 2014, can you believe?
I want to talk a bit about how FNaF even got introduced to me in the first place, because it's a fairly weird story how it came about, and it's all thanks to my good friend Baz. I remember it was a New Year's Eve. It was December the 31st, 2014. We were just playing some poker, enjoying ourselves, you know, having some casual games. And he mentioned this thing called Five Nights at Freddy's. It was abbreviated FNaF. I was like, wait, what? Apparently it had like animatronics in. It had this creepy gameplay mechanic, but there was this other layer to the game which Baz emphasized, talking about how there's creepy mysteries within it. And like, if you research...
Yeah, I know, right? And just, nowadays it's just convoluted, man. That's not even a joke, man. Like, nowadays, a Five Nights at Freddy's storyline is just convoluted.
You might find weird things. I remember being super interested immediately from that point, and I got hooked on the whole concept of the game.
After Mark played FNaF, the game was in an odd situation. FNaF started blowing up before it was even released on Steam. August was
that is very cool.
It was also the month that ScottGames.com was updated with the new FNaF teaser for the very first time. Scott posted the official
that is so cool.
Official poster for the game, along with a
Nice, honestly.
hyperlink that encouraged fans to vote to get FNaF greenlit on Steam and to download the full game on Desura. Due to FNAF's sudden rise to fame, the game got greenlit pretty quickly, being added to Steam 8 days after Markiplier played it. Pretty soon, every Let's Player on the planet was playing FNAF. Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, CoryX Kenshin, Dan TDM, Moist Critical, IS Cup, Quake, and even a young Daco's Games tried playing the new indie hit. Other than the
That's a lot of YouTubers.
fact that FNAF videos got a ton of
Especially for back then.
views, people loved the new take on the indie horror genre. Another thing that started popping up was FNAF songs. A channel called The Living Tombstone released their FNAF song called Five Nights at Freddy's the same month.
I remember this song. Yeah, this is a very iconic, classic Five Nights at Freddy's song. That's crazy. 7 years, almost 8 years ago, dude. Actually, it's been over 8 years at this point, more than likely. So, oh my goodness, that's crazy.
As the game's release, which went on to accumulate over 272 million views. Other artists making FNAF songs started popping up over time, such as DA Games, CG5,
Oh yeah, DA Games and CG5. Yeah, I know both of them.
JT Music, CK9C, and Tryhard Ninja.
Five Nights at Freddy's!
Oh, hey, Daco.
Hello! Hello, John! Hello, FNAF! I'm here on the anniversary of Five Nights at Freddy's. It's been 8 years. Can you believe it? So John has invited me on his amazing channel to talk
Very nice man, of course.
about my favourite memories in the whole of FNAF. It's been a wild ride. FNAF 1 altogether is a memory to me. I can't really think of anything
Yeah,
specific.
FNAF 1 is a very, it's definitely the first game ever that is, like, a Five Nights at Freddy's game, you know? It's like, oh my goodness.
With FNAF, apart from just the whole game, the atmosphere of the game. When you think back at FNAF 1...
I know, right? The atmosphere, like, the whole creepy factor or whatever. Like, the jump scares, the lore, all that. So cool, man.
The atmosphere music and the character...
Again, nowadays the lore is just convoluted, but we don't have to worry about that. But damn, that's crazy.
Carousel music as well. Foxy singing. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum.
Okay, we get it.
One other thing that started popping up was FNAF fan games. The list of FNAF fan games that came out even in just 2014 and 2015 is way too long for me to read right now, but we will talk more about
Fair enough.
About fan games later. One of the main hubs where FNAF fans go to speculate was created on August 14th, 2014, and that was the FNAF Reddit. The Reddit page is where the community would come together to post fan art, theories, and to interact with Scott Cawthon, who once in a while would
Crazy that August 14th is 6 months away, anyway.
reply to some of the community's posts. Meanwhile, in the mainstream media world, FNAF was getting pretty good reviews. The Highlander back in 2014 stated that, quote, players looking for thrills should visit Freddy Fazbear's Pizza because Five Nights at Freddy's is the most unique indie horror game on the market right now.
For real, man.
And we need more games like it. The game's reviews and reactions definitely weren't all sunshine and rainbows, though. There were a fair amount of YouTubers and game reviewers who disliked the game, but for a small indie game made by one guy, it was doing pretty well. To me, the game's atmosphere really sells.
It's crazy to think that even the games are, like, only made by one guy, maybe except for the Steel Wool games, but most of them were made by one guy.
When you put on headphones and dive into the game, it actually feels like you're trapped in that office being hunted by haunted animatronics. But obviously, one of the top things that made the game as popular as it was the jump scares.
Definitely. For sure.
On September 11th, 2014,
Oh, here we go. We're already on the first teaser for FNAF 2. Cool.
and ScottGames.com was updated with a new FNAF teaser for the second time ever. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the grand reopening, was officially on the way. The game had a tentative release date of 2015, and people were hyped. With the confirmation of a sequel, FNAF was now not.
Isn't it funny that Scott isn't good with release dates? Like, that's actually crazy, man. Like, Scott literally released most of his games not when he originally said he would. That's crazy.
Not just a one-hit wonder, it was developing into
Well, most of his games. Well, that's what I said. No.
a franchise. 16 days later on
Yeah, that's man, Five Nights at Freddy's has come a long way, for serious.
September 27th, 2014, ScottGames.com was updated once again with a new teaser for the
Oh yeah, you guys remember this teaser, huh? Something borrowed, something new. Damn, this brings me back.
second installment. This one reading something.
This brings me back to when I was learning Five Nights at Freddy's for the first time. I was like I didn't even, I knew quite a bit about it, but I didn't, when I was built, but there's still a lot of things to learn about this game, for serious.
Borrowed something new with our first look at Withered Bonnie and Toy Bonnie. And then, only 9 days later, on October 6, 2014, a new teaser for FNAF 2 dropped on Scott.
Interesting how they use FNAF 1 Foxy instead of Withered Foxy. But whatever. Oh, and Toy Foxy has a hook.
Games. It was our
So, I think we know this now.
first look at Withered Foxy and Mangle.
Now, in terms of FNAF
Actually, does Toy Foxy have a hook? And whatever.
2, this one
Here's Fusion's a gamer, a man with an epic voice. Yeah, totally. Oh my goodness.
is when everything went crazy, okay? I remember Scott released the first teaser for it, and it was the toy animatronics. Seeing those guys for the first time, seeing these new shiny animatronics was so insane, and also getting to theorize about,
I know, right?
you know, Chica 2.0, Foxy 2.0 before we knew what the toy animatronics were.
People loved this teaser because Foxy seemed to be a fan favorite character at the time. The hype for FNAF 2 could not be more real, and fans were now more excited than ever due to the constant release of new teasers. Scott Cawthon was a master at building hype for his games, and this strategy is what helped give FNAF legs for years to come. Another 9 days after the Foxy
And let's be honest, the game is probably not even gonna die anytime soon, as long as I keep making games and fan games and stuff, but, you know, whatever.
Mangle teaser, we got our first look at one of the new mechanics for the game.
Oh yeah, this is the first time we've actually seen the actual Withered Foxy. Okay, I see. No place to run and exactly one place to hide. 2.
We got the no place to run and exactly one place to hide teaser. This teaser hinted that we may have to climb into an animatronic to hide from the others. This ended up being the player putting on a Freddy mask to disguise themselves from the other animatronics' facial recognition.
The funny thing is, he teased it as if you can use a flashlight with the mask on. That's not how it works in the game, just so you guys know, but there's that. I'm sure most of you knew that already, though.
Systems. This was actually confirmed shortly after this teaser came out when the official trailer for FNAF 2 released on Scott's YouTube channel on October 21st, 2014. The trailer was an instant hit. People loved the cinematic feel of the trailer with its epic music and animations. Shortly after the trailer's release, people started posting their reactions and analyses. This was the beginning of the FNAF YouTuber community. I remember the biggest thing.
Damn. That was so long ago.
People were talking about is how the game had no doors. The doors in FNAF 1 were a staple of the gameplay and made the players feel safe. Now that they were gone, people were terrified for the next installment. The trailer.
Damn, just think about how people felt once they first saw the trailer of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Just imagine that. Damn.
The trailer began with the bop of the 17th century, London Bridge.
Exactly.
The bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my family.
And of course, with Withered Bonnie sitting right there. Oh, here we go.
Hello? Hello? Can we get back to the video now?
The use
Yes, let's get back to the video, shall we? That's funny.
That song was perfect for a FNAF trailer because it kind of turns something that's supposed to be for kids into something that is horrifying, kind of like FNAF. One of the biggest rumors about the trailer was that if you played the London Bridge song in reverse, it would say, "The killer is out, Mike kill all, this is enough."
Wait, is that actually true? There's no way that's true. Ah, whatever.
I remember seeing those videos and not only believing it, but being even more terrified for the new game. The trailer revealed that the animatronics could just jump out of the darkness at any time.
That's crazy.
The trailer also revealed that the phone guy was back. This left many people questioning how this could be, knowing that phone guy supposedly
It's a prequel, that's how.
died in FNAF 1. Either Phone Guy survived FNAF 1 or this game was a prequel. The theories from the FNAF community started flooding in, and speaking of theories,
jump scared by Golden Freddy. Wow, what look, man. I didn't even do anything about it. He was just sitting there staring at him. That's so funny.
It's worth mentioning that one of the other top videos that helped FNAF become as popular as it was released shortly after the FNAF 2 trailer. On October 23rd, 2014, Matt Pat from The Game Theorist posted his first theory video on FNAF. While Markiplier's viral playthrough of FNAF got people hooked with the gameplay, Matt Pat's video combined with all of the new teasers we were getting really got people hooked with the story of the game. Markiplier and Matt Pat's videos were officially going viral, setting the stage for FNAF
I can imagine
to become a huge franchise in the game.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Scott is not good with release dates.
Would not be the first time that a FNAF game got released earlier than expected. Only 5 days
I know.
after that interview on November 9th, Scott Games was updated once again with its final FNAF 2 teaser. What many people may think is a black image with a box for Cam 11 at the bottom is actually our first look at the marionette. Several people in the community figured
That is crazy, man. That is crazy. Like, imagine seeing this thing popping out of the music box. You don't even know what is going on in this teaser, like, fully, you know? Because the only thing you see is this over here and all this, but you don't see where the actual music box is. That's crazy.
figured out that if you brighten the image, you can see a marionette standing in the prize counter area.
But in terms of my favorite memory, it was whenever they first released the
You probably know who this is. Of course.
the marionette teaser, and me and Pro Class Gamer immediately DM'd each other on Skype, and we were like, dude, we gotta cover this. We did like a dual commentary covering the teaser and just talking about like, what is this thing? It's popping out of a box. It's like in the shadows, and just the amount of like obscurity that was in the game, and that like just not knowing what was really going on at that point was just the best.
People had a ton of theories about this image, but without more context, it was hard to figure out anything concrete about how this character would fit into the lore in the gameplay. We would soon get that context when the official extended FNAF 2 demo was sent to select YouTubers by Scott Cawthon only a day later, over a month before the game's projected release date. Markiplier,
That's honestly not a surprise at this point.
CoryX Kenshin, and a few other YouTubers received the demo directly from Scott himself via email on November 10th. They were the only
Oh god, I know exactly what Markiplier's saying here.
people on the planet
Oh goodness, I'm not gonna say it out loud this time.
who were able to play one of the most anticipated games of 2014, so naturally their Let's Plays blew up. Markiplier already had his first 3 videos up on the game in the span of 24 hours, with the first one already accumulating
That's a very short amount of time for that many videos, but okay.
over 3 million views. FNAF was officially back and blowing up all over again thanks to some of the biggest YouTubers on the planet. People loved FNAF 2. With the new mechanics, new pizzeria, new jump scares, people were enamored with the experience it brought. But one part of the game that was brand new that kept everyone curious about what was going on at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was the cutscenes. One of the major reasons the original
the cutscenes. Remember that. Okay, yeah. I remember that.
FNAF took off was because of its lore. Using the posters on the walls, people started to get a sense that there was a story behind these haunted animatronics. And with the help of Matt Pat and Reddit, people really started to try and find every clue possible to get us closer to a concrete story. Scott decided to lean into the storytelling aspect a lot more with
Holy shit, this might be a long video, guys.
FNAF 2, introducing various 8-bit minigames and 3D cutscenes throughout the game. After completing each night, you would get a 3D cutscene of you on stage as Freddy Fazbear looking around at the other animatronics. 8-bit minigames would show up randomly after getting jump scared. These were arguably the creepiest part of FNAF 2.
Yep, definitely remember these, but I've never gotten them myself when I was playing the game on this channel, so.
There are 4 8-bit minigames in FNAF 2, beginning with the more innocent one of us playing as Foxy walking off stage to surprise some kids while a creepy pink man? Purple man?
Like he's acting like he doesn't know that's a purple man.
Violet? While the creepy man watches from the distance to us walking through the original FNAF pizzeria with blood everywhere while we follow a floating marionette. Yeah, these minigames were vague enough for them to be confusing, but clear enough for people to understand loosely what the story was supposed to be. Lucky for you, I am not going to break down the entire lore of FNAF in this video because we would be here all day. Maybe I'll make that video.
Yeah, because this video, my video is already going on over a half an hour, and this video is over an hour and a half long, and we're only 17, not even 18 minutes in yet. Oh my goodness.
One day. No. Anyways, these...
No. We're not gonna have a FNAF lore video. No, too convoluted.
Cutscenes and mini
Honestly, I don't blame him.
games were exactly what the franchise needed to help keep the hype going. Around this time, FNAF hoaxes were also pretty popular. This was essentially fans making fake images that looked like they're real Easter eggs from the games. The most popular hoaxes back then were Sparky the Dog in FNAF 1 and the Purple Man animatronic from FNAF 2, but you know...
Oh my goodness, why do people do this? for views or something?
There's a lot more than that now. On November 13th, 2014, only one day after FNAF 2's official release, Scott Games officially went dark, not showing any other games or hyperlinks, just one black image with the word offline. The FNAF community was in shambles. People were wetting the bed. People were losing sleep, selling all of their Bitcoin because...
Okay.
What if this was the end? What if FNAF was over? What if we were never gonna get another...
Among Us. Until next time.
When you brighten the image, you can see text in the bottom that states, "Until next time." This image stayed on Scott Games for a while. At least it was a while compared to the near weekly updates we
Really, the bouncing offline thing? Really? Come on now.
were getting. The website wasn't updated until about a month later.
Let's try a few edits, see if we can get anything. And instantly, guys, on the right now, it's changed to a number 3, and nobody's realised it could have been here for days, guys.
Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was
Crazy that people can literally just brighten the image to get like secret text or whatever.
officially on the way. For the next month, ScottGames.com went dark. No new teasers, trailers, or anything, yet FNAF kept growing. During this time, MatPet released his game theory on FNAF 2, and Let's Players kept posting their reactions to the newest games. The FNAF Reddit was filled with theories and tons of fan art, and people were anxiously awaiting the third installment. After a month of silence, Scott Games was finally updated on January 2nd, 2015. The teaser featured a brand new animatronic with the text, "I am still here." This was a...
Oh, yeah, I remember people talking about this. When they experienced these teasers for the first time with FNAF 3, I remember people talking about that.
quite shocking teaser considering no one knew who the animatronic was. In the image, you can only see half of its face, so naturally people tried mirroring it to see if they could...
Yeah, that was like that was stupid because like literally, what do you get out of this? It's like so dumb, man.
Identify the mystery animatronic. When mirrored, it sort of resembled Golden Freddy, but with completely new features. 12 days later, we got an even better look at the new animatronic when the What Can We Use teaser dropped on January 14th. The teaser featured all of the toy animatronics from FNAF 2 stuffed into a cardboard box, and when brightened, the mystery animatronic standing ominously.
We all know who this is. Springtrap.
Next to it. People still seem to think that this was...
We literally just saw Springtrap in like the FNAF Slice of Life, the last video we reacted to on that. That was literally just a few days ago as well.
Golden Freddy, and honestly, I did too. The animatronic did look somewhat like a bear and was golden, and we didn't get a good look at the ears yet, so you couldn't really blame anyone.
Fair enough.
People had a lot of theories about what this teaser could mean, most of them thinking that we were going to learn a lot more about Golden Freddy and that the toy animatronics were going to be back. Little did they know, less than 2 weeks later, their theories would be thrown in the trash.
Imagine. Oh my goodness.
On January 26th, the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 3 hit YouTube.
Oh god. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm back.
FNAF was at peak popularity at the time, and you could make a good argument that to this day, the FNAF 3 era was the most popular FNAF has ever been.
Right. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm back. Let's continue.
That to this day, the FNAF 3 era was the most popular FNAF has ever been. Millions of people tuned in to see what the next FNAF game had in store. The FNAF YouTube community was also starting to form at this time, posting their reactions and analyses of the new trailer. The trailer consisted of mostly cinematic shots with text reading, "He will come back, he always does, we have a place for him," and ending with a jump scare. The FNAF community on YouTube and Reddit were officially off to the races, looking for hidden secrets and clues to what this game could be about. Even after the trailer came out,
oh my goodness, this brings back some crazy memories of when I was first learning about Springtrap and stuff.
And we got a good look at the new animatronic, people still did not know what the heck this thing was. Some people still thought it was Golden Freddy, some thought
ain't no way, dude.
it was Golden Bonnie, and others thought it may be a hybrid of the two. ScottGames.com was...
Yeah. For those of you thinking that Springtrap is a hybrid of some of the animatronics, you are way off. I'm gone, bro. That eye is creepy, but damn.
Updated the same day the trailer came out with the words "he always does" in purple text. This led people to believe that the text in the trailer wasn't talking about the phone guy, the night guard, or the mystery animatronic, but the purple guy. Little did they know that some of those things might be related in more ways than one. On February 3rd, ScottGames.com was updated once again with our first look at the map for FNaF 3. When brightened up,
oh, so this is how the... So, now I think about it, why the hell would they, would Scott not, post a teaser on the FNaF 1 and 2 maps, but he posted one on the FNaF 3 map? Is it because the FNaF 3 map looks like him a little bit, but upside down? No, seriously, it kind of does, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, anyway.
Up, you could see that there was a ventilation system connecting the whole pizzeria that presumably animatronics could crawl through. This
exactly.
map debunked the theory that some people had that FNaF 3 would take place in the
You know, Five Nights at Freddy's is very popular for crawling through vents, for beings crawling through vents. Like, why? Why is this so popular for that, man?
FNaF 1 pizzeria, since the map is completely different.
It all started with FNaF 2, and then FNaF 3, and it continued on later with Sister Location, and then FNaF 6, an Ultimate Custom Night, Help Wanted, which was basically, you know. And then there was, like, Security Breach, where Gregory was the one crawling through all the vents and the wind-up Music Man. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of crawling through vents going on in the Five Nights at Freddy's series, that's for damn sure.
Different. People continued theorizing all over the internet, asking questions about what this game was going to be about, why does the purple guy keep coming back, and most of all, who is that new Golden Freddy / Bonnie hybrid? Well, we didn't find out the name of this mystery animatronic until February 15th when Scott made a post on Steam titled Early Beta Testing Successful. In this post, updating the community on the progress of FNaF 3, there are multiple words with double letters in them. When you eventually put all the
oh, double letters. Lore.
doubled letters together, it spelled out, "My name is Springtrap."
Nice. Yeah, that is kind of weird how Scott likes it. Well, I like how Scott likes to hide stuff like that. Like little details like that. My name is Springtrap. That's crazy.
Scott was very active on Steam, interacting
You're gonna hear me saying that live in this video probably, let's be honest.
with fans and answering questions fairly regularly, so it wasn't really a shock that he made this big reveal on Steam. In fact, the same day, Scott put a new post on the forum saying, "It's true, I was hacked, and the game is cancelled. Someone released it for free here," with a link to this Game Jolt page. The community was confused and collectively freaked out and immediately downloaded the game, and when they opened the game, this is what happened.
What's up, YouTube? What's going on? Corey continuing. Whoa.
It's a troll game! Yeah, we all know about those. We all know about those. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's 3. It's
that intro, bro. You literally thought it was Five Nights at Freddy's 3, yet it was a troll game.
finally out, you guys. Let's do it.
This was the first...
Man, how do people not figure that out? Because, like, okay, yes, that was the first troll game, but people still didn't figure out what the fourth game was the troll game. Because of the, what's it called? What was it called? Oh yeah, because the one, it was Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the troll version of that, didn't have any text, neither did the third one. That's crazy.
First troll of...
The only text it said was new, and that's pretty much it. Scott, we all know Scott doesn't do that.
many for Scott Cawthon. The Troll game was basically a reskin of one of Scott's older games, There Is No Pause Button. Even though it was obviously...
Scott made a lot of games, for real.
Obviously a troll by Scott, people actually thought that Scott was hacked, leading him to update his post to reassure everyone that he isn't hacked. FNaF FNaF 3 is still coming, and to enjoy the game he made for everyone. 1 month after the He Always Does teaser on ScottGames.com, the website was updated again, this time with one on March 1st and then one on March 2nd. These teasers...
Wasn't the game released on March 2nd? Of 2015? I could be mistaken about that. It might have been March 2nd or March 3rd. I'm not too sure, but it was definitely one of those two dates.
featured Balloon Boy, Chica, and Foxy with a wooden-like texture on them. People didn't really know what to make of these, theorizing that these were older versions of the animatronics, maybe made out of wood. But the thing that caught people's attention the most was when you brightened up the Balloon Boy image, you could see a giant number 10, which seemed like the beginning of a countdown. People legit.
Yeah, and knowing Scott, it was not a countdown. Unlike Security Breach. Security Breach actually did have a countdown, but, you know.
Legit freaked out at this.
It was made by Steelwool, not Scott, so Scott is not really that good with release dates, let's be honest.
Including Dawko.
What is going on, guys? Dawko back again, and finally Scott has posted a new teaser on his website, and it says Guess Who with Balloon Boy, guys. Balloon Boy. Holy crap, guys.
Can you imagine being excited about Balloon Boy? Come on now. That is hilarious to me. Who's excited about Balloon Boy being in a game? Come on now.
It's freaking Balloon Boy. But is it? But if you brighten it up, guys, there's a 10. There's a freaking 10 there, which means Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the demo, or the full game, I don't know, is going to be released the 10th. But sadly, it doesn't say the 10th of March, the 10th of April, who knows, but it just says a 10.
Was this a countdown? Was it going to be released 10 days from now, 10 weeks from now, 10 months from now? And actually none of those were correct. The FNaF 3 demo was sent to select YouTubers on March 2nd, 2015, the day after the countdown started on ScottGames.com. FNaF 3 playthroughs quickly started being posted on YouTube, with Markiplier's video getting over 1 million views in its first 7 hours. The game was then officially released to the public the very next day on March 3rd, 2015. The game featured
So I was right about it being one of those 2 dates. I wasn't for sure when it released, but technically both of those dates were right, because the demo was given out to select YouTubers on the 2nd, but the full, or I think it was the full game, I'm not sure, but it released on the 3rd. Okay, I see.
Featured only one physical animatronic who could kill you, and that was Springtrap. The goal of the game was to distract Springtrap using sound cues through the camera system to keep him away from you until 6 a.m. All the while resetting your audio, camera, and ventilation systems so you don't get jump scared by various hallucinations of past animatronics. At the beginning, we were introduced to the Phone Dude, voiced by Scott Cawthon himself, who then turned into the regular phone guy after some old training tapes were found and played for us in the place of Phone Dude.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. Like, I've listened to those training tapes many times, and oh my goodness.
In the game, there was a small chance you would get a secret screen of an up-close shot of Springtrap where you could see the remains of a human body.
Yeah, I remember these. Oh my goodness, that was terrible.
Inside of him. These secret images were also in FNaF 2 with Withered Foxy, Withered Freddy, and Toy Bonnie. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 came with mixed reviews and continues to be one of the most divisive games in the franchise. The game gave us a ton of lore with Phone Dude and Phone Guy's calls each night, secret minigames, and newspaper clippings, but some didn't like that it wasn't scary enough. People said that the Spring
And that's why Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was made. That's exactly why.
Trap jump scares weren't very effective and that the stakes were lowered because of that. Also, casual players were starting to get lost in
We're just like, oh god, he's just like so, like, I don't even know what he feels, man. He's just like so down that he got jump scared. He just feels like so defeated. But at the same time, Mark doesn't give up. At least not most of the time.
confused by the lore since you had to actively seek it out by finding cupcakes, clicking on a Shadow Bonnie figure, and typing a code into the walls of the office. The whole community came together to try and piece the vague 8-bit minigames into one cohesive story/timeline. And I would say that the community did a pretty good job with the little information that they were given. No matter what some reviewers had to say, FNaF 3 was another success for Scott Cawthon, with the trailer getting the most views out of all the other FNaF games and the community being more alive.
That is interesting.
Than ever. It was during this time, on April 7th, 2015, the news broke that Warner Brothers picked up the rights for a FNaF movie. We were actually...
Yeah, and then it was transferred over to Blumhouse Studios or whatever. Yeah. We should be getting it sometime this year, right? Either late this year or sometime next year. The FNaF movie, so I guess we'll have to see about that one.
Getting a Five Nights at Freddy's movie with the release of FNaF.
I like how you added the little troll face there because, like, the movie's still not out and it's been over 8 years.
3, ScottGames.com was updated one last time, with no secrets, no Easter eggs, just Freddy's hat in the spotlight. A final goodbye to the majorly successful trilogy that changed the... Oh, the hat is...
Yep, nope. Not the end, buddy, not the end.
gone. On April 22nd,
I like that edit. Hold on, let's watch that in full.
Successful trilogy that changed the... Oh, the hat is gone. On April 22nd,
The hat is gone. Yes, indeed it is.
2015, only 50 days after the release of FNaF 3 and ScottGames.com being updated, the hat vanished, and the community was in shambles. People were asking, where did it go? Who took it? Is there actually going to be a 4th FNaF game? Well, yes. 5 days later, the hat returned in a big way, being held by none other than Nightmare Freddy in our first ever teaser for Five Nights at Freddy's 4. The community ran with the name Nightmare Freddy because when you brighten the teaser, it shows the word nightmare at the bottom. The game would be called FNaF 4,
yeah, I saw that. Damn, I see that. Okay.
final chapter, and had a release date of Halloween 2015. The game seemed to be leaning way more into the horror elements that people were looking for in FNaF 3. It looked like Scott was actually listening to criticism in regards to FNaF 3 not being scary enough and decided to course correct a bit. My guess is that Scott valued the poor reviews of his game because the poor reviews of his games were the reason FNaF began in the first place. A week and a half after
Exactly, and thank God it did. Once again, I cannot be thankful enough that FNaF exists because I exist.
After the Nightmare Freddy teaser, we got our...
That sounded weird. That sounded counterintuitive. I exist because FNaF exists, and I'm thankful for that. That's what I meant.
First look at Nightmare Bonnie, this time with the words "Was it me?" in the top left corner. The community immediately connected this question with the Bite of 87. The Bite of 87 was one of the biggest mysteries of the first FNaF game, and now 3 games into the franchise, we still didn't know which animatronic actually did the biting. People started noticing a pattern.
Yeah, well, now we know who did the Bite of 83, and the Bite of 87 we can speculate on, but we don't really know exactly who did the Bite of 87. The Bite of 83, though, we know Fredbear did.
Predicting that each new teaser would feature a new version of the classic animatronics in Nightmare form, and that's exactly what happened. We got Nightmare Chica on May 16th and Nightmare Foxy on May 29th. Chica's teaser still had the Nightmare text when brightened, while Foxy's said out of order, both asking the same question of was it me or me? The thing that was the most out of the ordinary about these teasers was that Foxy had a tongue. This was the first time Foxy was seen with a...
Imagine Foxy with a tongue. Yeah, that never actually made the final cut. But imagine Foxy with a tongue. I mean, I have a tongue, but has Foxy ever had a tongue? Like, I know he did in this teaser, but like, has he ever had an actual tongue? Like, not even one that you can move, because I can't really move mine, but I never actually thought about that.
The tongue and the last, since it was cut from the final game.
Like, I know I have a tongue, but does he have a tongue? That's crazy.
The teaser that followed these broke the pattern that was established over the past few weeks and shocked everyone. On June 11th, 2015, this image was uploaded to ScottGames.com. It featured a purple hat and bow tie under a spotlight. When brightened, you could see the text "property of
Fredbear's Family Diner, yes, we know.
I don't know. When I first saw this teaser,
That's what it sounds like. I'm sorry. I'll continue.
I naturally thought it meant Freddy Fazbear because it started with an FR and ended with an R. But upon further inspection, you can actually tell that it ends in an ER and not an R, which is not how you spell Fazbear. The community quickly pieced together that the text probably reads "Property of Fredbear's Family Diner." This was significant because that was supposedly the first pizzeria and the place where the first murder took place. The community started to theorize that maybe FNaF 4 would show us more about what happened at Fredbear's Family Diner and why the purple guy decided to start his killing spree.
The teasers on FNaF 4 are probably the best, I'd say. Best teasers would go to...
Yeah, FNaF 4 has a lot of crazy teasers, honestly. But that Foxy with the freaking snake tongue, like, really, dude? Like, we know damn well Foxy never had a tongue.
To FNaF 4.
I mean, I guess he did at one point in that teaser, but still. It didn't make the final cut.
The memory that I think of with FNaF 4 specifically is Fredbear.
The next teaser followed the same idea as the first FNaF 4 teaser, someone placing a hat in the spotlight and then someone picking it up. And in this case, 2 weeks later on June 25th, we saw Nightmare Fredbear sporting the purple bow tie with a giant mouth stomach. These teasers were...
Yeah, why does Nightmare Fredbear and why do Nightmare and Fredbear and Nightmare? Oh my goodness. Why do Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare have that stomach mouth. I never understood that. Like, what's the point? To make it scarier or something? I don't really know.
Were getting so crazy that if you looked into the source code of the website and went to a random chunk of scrambled letters, moved each letter back one letter in the alphabet, it actually spelled out Fredbear. Checking the
That I never understood either, because there's no G in Fredbear. Hold on. Yeah, there's no G in Fredbear. What the hell?
scrambled letters, moved each letter back one letter in the alphabet.
I don't know. Oh, you said one letter back in the alphabet. Okay, I get it now. Okay. Yeah, see, that would make sense.
Code of the website and went to a random chunk of
one letter back in the alphabet, not one letter back. That's what. Okay, gotcha.
Scrambled letters, moved each letter back one letter in the alphabet, it actually spelled out Fredbear. Checking the source code was a vital part of figuring out the lore at this point in the series, and that's why the FNaF community to this day takes every little clue seriously, because even a random bunch of letters in the source code of a website could have big lore secrets hidden within. The next FNaF teaser arrived on July 9th and featured
Plush Trap. This is where we're seeing Plush Trap for the first time.
what seemed to be a mini version of Springtrap sitting in a chair with the words "terrible things come in small packages" above it. When brightened, you could clearly see 4 doorways, 2 on each side of the hallway.
Now that when you light up the picture like that, Plush Trap actually looks kind of creepy, not gonna lie.
The community figured out that this character's name was Plush Trap.
Not that I'm scared of him or anything, because, you know, I'm a lot bigger than him, but still.
Once again, through the source code. This time, Scott used an encryption technique called Caesar's cipher, a type of substitution cipher in which each letter in the plaintext is replaced by a letter some fixed number of positions down the alphabet. Back then, if you weren't at least a little familiar with cryptography, you were not going to figure out the new FNaF lore, or you were just waiting for someone else to figure it out for you. But with the
yeah, that's what most people did.
thousands of people in the FNaF Reddit, it usually took about an hour, sometimes less. On July 13th, 2015, only 4 days after the Plush Trap teaser, the FNaF 4 trailer hit YouTube. At this point, everyone was in full theory mode, looking into every detail and looking for every clue they can to see how this game fits into the lore we already kind of know. The trailer starts off with a shot of a flashlight flickering on and off down a hallway. This was the first time we got it confirmed that this game was going to be set inside of a house. I remember watching this trailer and losing my mind at how good the graphics looked and how cool and different it felt. I think
for a quick team game, yeah, you gotta admit, the graphics were pretty good.
one of the big reasons FNaF is so successful is because Scott changed things up quite a bit, but not enough for it not to feel like a FNaF game. The trailer showed Foxy, Chica, Plush Trap, the Freddles, and lastly a jump scare from Bonnie. That jump scare was different from any of the past games. The model was creepier, the animation was improved, and it just hit different. It's safe to say the community went nuts over this trailer, trying to figure out a few things. How a camera system would fit into the game, how did we get to the part of the house
Imagine
Plush Trap was in, and
imagine cameras in FNaF 4. There are fan games about that. There are fan games, and if you want me to play them, let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to play, it's this game called Watch Your Nightmares. It's basically a FNaF 4 fan game with cameras. And yeah.
Why were these giant nightmare animatronics roaming through someone's house late at night like they got up to
I'll play it in October probably, because, you know, that's when FNAFtober is.
They get a glass of warm milk because they couldn't sleep or something? We'd soon find out.
Oh goodness.
Some of these answers. On July 20th,
and we'll find out in the next part. For you guys, it's going to only be a second, but I guess I'll come back on day 2. Alright? See you guys in a little bit. Or in a second, I guess. See ya. Alright, we're back, y'all. Let's continue.
On July 21st, 2015, Dawko and Razbowski uploaded videos titled Official FNaF 4 Demo Reaction. Scott Cawthon actually sent Dawko and Raz FNaF 4 2 days before everyone else in order to tell everyone what they thought of the game. Both of their videos
that is cool.
Started with their reaction to the Bonnie jump scare, and it's just a joy to watch.
Oh, things are starting.
Oh no. Oh, this is gonna be cool, ain't it? I've always loved FNaF for the jump scares and stuff as well.
Move now. Oh, things are starting to move now. Oh my.
Oh! No.
They both got jump scared.
The hell? The game is absolutely terrifying, and I
living legend.
Still don't like playing it now because it's so scary, because you have to rely on sound, and usually I get really scared when I think I'm going to be okay. I don't hear breathing and I put on the flash.
I know, right? That's like one of the most annoying parts of FNaF 4 is that sometimes you don't hear the breathing right away, probably because they're not even at the door as soon, like they're not even at the door 1 second, and the next second, like they're at the door as soon as you flash the light. you get jump scared. It's so annoying. I can understand your pain, man. Oh my goodness.
And I'm dead. Still scary.
Seriously, that happened to a lot of people, trust me.
The jump scares are terrifying.
Suddenly, one day, Scott emails myself and Doc.
Daddy Raz? Really? Come on now, Daddy Raz. Oh my goodness.
And he's like, boys, you two, you gotta play test FNaF 4 for me. And we absolutely crapped ourselves. Because it wasn't supposed to be out till like Halloween that year, 2015. So I
Oh yeah, FNaF 4 wasn't supposed to be out until Halloween of that year. Yeah, it came out way before that, and the Halloween edition of FNaF 4 actually came out the day before Halloween, right? Or something like that.
I rushed home, I played it. Dorka was on a boat somewhere in the middle of the ocean.
Was released while I was in the middle of the ocean.
I'm not for sure. Either the day before Halloween or on Halloween. I'm not sure, but we'll have to find out.
Ocean.
On July 23rd,
It came out while you were in the middle of the ocean. Interesting.
select group of YouTubers were sent the FNaF 4 demo and given permission to post their gameplay. Then, on the same day, Scott decided to release the full game to the public. Very quickly,
of course, Markiplier gets jump scared.
People started posting their playthroughs of FNaF 4, trying to get on the FNaF hype train. This was the day we got this amazing gem of a clip from Markiplier.
The first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through.
The game.
I love this clip. It's just brings me back.
Gave us more story than we've ever had before.
Brings me back to when I was still learning about the games and stuff, you know?
Showing us the journey of a kid who is being psychologically abused by his family, guided by a sentient Fredbear plushie, traumatized by something he saw at Fredbear's family diner, and counting down to his birthday party where his evil brother and his friends will pick him up and place him into Fredbear's mouth to eventually get his head
Mark's face.
head bitten off.
Was that the bite of 87?
That classic line! Remember that! I'm pretty sure all you FNaF fans know that line from Markiplier. Every single one of you FNaF fans. And if you don't, then clearly you're living under a rock. But, you know, don't take that in a mean way, but, because I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah, that classic freaking thing that Markiplier said, was that the bite of 87? Yeah, we all remember that, I'm sure.
Nope, it was the bite of 83, because
exactly.
Obviously on night 3, when you go back into the living room of the house and stand right in front of the TV for exactly 5 seconds, a commercial will start playing from Fredbear and Friends with the year of 1983. Like I said, this game was filled with the most lore we've ever gotten in a FNaF game. Did it make
Fredbear and Friends 1983. Plus when you type in 1983 in the keypad in the private room, it's this location, I think the FNaF 4 house pops up on the TVs.
the lore of the previous games less confusing? No. Do I think that FNaF 4 told a great story and perfectly laid out the dream theory that I think was the real canon that Scott intended for the series? Yes, but I won't get into that right now. The game ended with an emotional scene of the crying child on his deathbed, with presumably his brother telling him that he's sorry.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh yeah, that was sad, man. Wow. If the theories are correct, then Gregory is in fact a robot. Maybe he's the rebuilt crying child, but who knows?
In here.
I feel like it's a little coincidental that Glamrock Freddy in the game says, I feel you are broken. I just feel like that's a little coincidental.
Sorry. You're broken.
Maybe a little too coincidental. Yeah, this was a sad part in FNaF 4. I'm not even joking, man.
Is that about the bite? I will put you back together.
Mark's face.
This person said to the crying child, "You're broken. I will put you back together." Those were the final words before you can faintly hear the heart monitor flatline. And where do you hear those words again? That's right, Glamrock
Freddy, yes, we know.
Freddy specifically said to... Oh, wrong video.
Wrong video, yeah. Okay, the entire history of FNaF. Yeah, this is a different video, buddy. Alright. Didn't he do like a theory on like a FNaF security breach or a bunch of a few videos on like Five Nights at Freddy's security breach theories? I'm pretty sure we can react to those at some point, but not today.
And finally with FNaF 4, the boss.
can I please have that glitch trap head on your shelf? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, the glitch trap head. I wonder how he got that. Like, was it just made for him or what?
Box, okay? The box at the end of FNaF 4 is probably the most iconic, controversial memory that I can think of.
Oh yeah, the box. The box that nobody knows what was inside. Scott vaguely told people what was inside it, but it was like, you know.
Box, that's all I'm gonna...
It was like very hard to understand. I don't know, man. FNaF is crazy and convoluted. Especially when it comes to the lore, man.
I'm gonna say, if you know, you know.
Upon beating Nightmare Mode, you're met with this box. After a few seconds, some words show up above the box. Some things are best left forgotten for now. The box had 2 locks that you could actually click on, but it did nothing. People tried...
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tried everything to get the box open with no success. This would become one of the biggest questions in all of FNaF history. What's in the box? FNaF 4 was a really special game that told a solid story from beginning to end, but it also added a lot of questions to the lore that frustrated a lot of fans who wanted more answers. Overall, the game got a positive reception and was added to the ever-growing Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. 3 days after the release of the game, ScottGames.com was updated with a final, "The End, thanks for playing." But...
Wow. Yeah, these old teasers, some of them I don't remember, but then again, I really haven't... I was only built a few years ago, and I was just learning about FNaF then, at that time. But this, wow, that's crazy.
If you brighten the image, you could see a small, faint question mark after.
Oh yeah, this right here, the question mark. Wow. Scott really knows how to hide things in his teasers, for real.
The end. At the time, it looked like Scott was coming back for round 5. Exactly a week later, on August 2nd, 2015.
Oh yeah, this iconic picture. I remember this. This one I remember.
Scott Games was updated with a final thank you poster featuring all of the animatronics in the series. FNaF, or at least the story of FNaF,
well, most of them anyway, the Phantoms aren't there,
seemed to be over. Almost exactly a month after the game's release, Scott Cawthon made a huge post on
I don't think... whatever, I'm just kidding.
Steam, officially announcing a Halloween content update for FNaF 4, a secret project he's working on that wasn't FNaF 5, and some clarification about what we will never find out, what's in the box. Scott said, quote, "Now I want to talk about what won't be included, the box. You know, when I released the first game over a year ago, I was amazed at how quickly everyone found every bit of lore and story. Then, the same happened with Part 2. Fans and YouTubers dug in and found everything. Game Theory did an incredible video on Part 2, getting almost everything right. Then Part 3 came out, and once again, the story was uncovered by the community. It seemed that there was nothing I could hide, but then I released Part 4, and somehow, no one, not a single person, found the pieces. The story remains completely hidden. I guess most people assumed that I filled the game with random Easter eggs this time. I didn't. What's in the box? It's the pieces put together. But the bigger question is, would the community accept it that way? The fact that the pieces have remained elusive this time strikes me as incredible and special, a fitting conclusion in some ways, and because of that, I've decided that maybe some things are best left forgotten forever."
That is a crazy... Oh my goodness. Yeah, wow. Maybe some things are best left forgotten forever. Oh no. So yeah. What exactly did he mean by... What exactly did he mean by it's the pieces put together? Like the lore? I don't really know, man. Five Nights at Freddy's is just confusing, man. That's all I got to say.
This blew everyone's minds and made everyone more determined than ever to figure out FNaF 4. More
Yeah, I bet.
On that later. On September 9th, 2015, ScottGames.com was updated once again. The endoskeleton on the right side of the image looked completely...
Oh, this was for FNaF World.
Different. It almost looked cartoonish. These updates continued almost daily, slowly turning every animatronic in the image into a cute cartoonish version of itself. This was extremely confusing considering the community had no idea what Scott had planned. A few days into these updates on
That is a cool way of advertising FNaF World, on God. Like over time, each animatronic turning into an adventure animatronic. That's pretty freaking cool.
September 15th, Scott took to Steam to officially announce FNaF World, an RPG game where you could choose from a bunch of beloved FNaF characters to fight against enemies. He assured people that this was not a horror game, but a fun type of game that he's been wanting to make for a while now. He also made it very clear that there would not be a FNaF 5, saying, "It's very important for me to say again that there will not be a Five Nights at Freddy's 5. The story."
You sure? I mean, it technically wasn't called Five Nights at Freddy's 5, it was called Sister Location, but you know.
Story is complete, and the Halloween
If you know, you know.
update and new game will not add to it. In the post, he stated that he
the face
called the new FNaF World animatronics the adventure characters, and that it would be unlikely that a demo for FNaF World would be ready by Halloween since the game was still in early development. Even though
there was never a demo on that game.
Scott said there wasn't.
And Markiplier never played that game either. There are some YouTubers that played it, like DanTDM and other people too. But, you know.
Gonna be a FNaF 5, people were still hyped. We still had FNaF World and the FNaF 4 Halloween update to look forward to. Little did they know that one of the most important days in the history of FNaF was soon to be upon them. It was a warm September night. The forecast was cloudy with a 30% chance.
Okay, come on now. That's not a part of the video, man. Come on now. Oh, but that was funny.
Sorry. September 18th,
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
2015. A day that would soon be written into every history book known to man. This was the day MatPat planned his big FNaF Theory livestream with Dawko, Razbowski, Ryan, and other Ryan from 8-Bit Gaming, and Smike. The stream was meant to be a big
Okay. Anybody remember Smike?
collaboration with all of the biggest FNaF YouTubers, and
Like, he is such an old Five Nights at Freddy's YouTuber that I hardly remember him, but, you know.
in order to try and figure out the lore. The stream was a major success, but there was one huge problem.
Like, literally, Smike is like... He basically disappeared from YouTube, I think, or something like that. I don't really know. I was confused.
Success, but there was one huge problem. The stream kept crashing. The stream crashed literally 2 or 3 times before they finally got a stable connection. But while the stream was
Why did that even happen?
crashing, one person was watching it all go down, Scott Coffin.
Dawko just tweeted out 2 minutes ago that Scott commented on Steam 11 minutes ago.
Yeah.
They were getting too close to the truth.
Oh!
Oh!
We were getting too close to the truth, according to Scott. Scott, we're still fighting, man. We're fighting back today.
Scott
We're fighting back today, you say.
saw an opportunity at this point, and he took it. With the internet issues MatPat was having, they weren't able to have the original panel on screen, and while they were gone, ScottGames.com updated for a brief moment.
In the FNaF 4 minigame.
Okay.
Okay, we're talking about the FNaF...
Like Atari graphics toy, like next to the headless Foxy, there's a beakless Chica.
Is there a beakless Chica
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there is a beakless Chica in the FNaF 4 minigame, or in one of them anyway.
Shortly after this, Dawko arrived saying that Scott actually emailed him the exact same message put on Scott Games. A few minutes later, Scott emailed Dawko with another question.
Scott's done another question. Oh god. He said, what he's seeing in shadows is easily misunderstood in the mind of a child.
Yeah, Scott likes hiding his lore. Scott likes hiding the truth with his lore. Oh my goodness.
So...
It was after this
Oh jeez.
question that they started putting the pieces together. Maybe FNaF 2 never actually happened. Maybe all of these games
Oh yeah, Dream Theory. I remember that. That I remember.
were just nightmares of a crying child. The final hint Scott gave them was 4 words. 4 games, 1 story. We kind of assumed it was, but it was good to know that there's not multiple stories going on at the same time in this franchise. That would be... This live stream...
Yeah, that would be bad. That would be even more convoluted than it is today, but still.
It was a huge moment for the community and honestly for figuring out the lore of these 4 games. Those clues led to MatPat's video he released that December where I believe he was correct in his theory about some of, if not all of these games being just a dream. But, as Scott said, would the community accept it that way? Scott updated his announcement post for FNaF World on September 21st, 2015, stating that all of the FNaF World characters have been added to ScottGames.com. Not only that, but we got a rough release date coming 2016. Seriously. Obviously, poking fun at the fact that Scott hasn't really been the best with release dates.
For real, like, not even joking. That's like not even a lie. Seriously, Scott is so bad with release dates. So yeah, I can see he meant it seriously this time. Oh my goodness.
A few days after the FNaF World teasers were finished, Scott created FNAFworld.com, a dedicated website for FNaF World teasers. Once that website was created, ScottGames.com became dedicated to teasing FNaF 4 Halloween Edition. There were 5 total teasers for the game: Jacko Bonnie, Nightmare Balloon Boy, Nightmare Ione, and Jacko Chica. One interesting thing to point out about the Nightmare Ione teaser is that when you saved the image, it was titled Don't Wake the Baby. This was Scott referencing
Don't Wake the Baby. I like that, because Mark used to say that a lot of the time in FNaF 2. That's funny.
Markiplier's FNaF 2 playthrough, where he repeated that phrase while trying to avoid the puppet jump scare. On October 28th, 2015, FNAFworld.com was updated, and let's just say the community was confused. If you logged onto FNaF...
This is Five Nights at Freddy's we're talking about. Of course people are going to be confused.
FNAFworld.com, you would be met with text saying, and I quote, I hex haxered scoot site and well released to full version on FNaF World tonight at exactly 6 p.m. CST. Don't try to stop me, lols hacks.
Oh, this old thing. That is so funny. So lols hacks dates right all the way back this far. Oh my gosh, dude, that's funny. This is terrible. You can hardly read this, but you can read it. It's not that, I mean, I guess it's not that hard to read, but still.
Then it was updated again not too long after, and I quote, I mean it.
Oh no!
I'm going to release it tonight at 6 p.m. CST. Take me seriously, you'll be sorry. I will post the link right here.
Okay, I see, okay. So Scott is here trolling again using this character called Lols Hacks. And apparently, he's literally typing like, well, we all know that he's typing trash on purpose. Like, he's literally typing like, this just doesn't seem right. These are not words, okay?
Lols hacks. I think most of the community was aware that this was Scott trolling, since this seemed to be a pattern with Scott.
Right, yeah, understandable.
Based on the FNaF 3 troll game, but there was a good amount of people.
Was there not? Is it just me, or was there actually, like, was there not a FNaF 4 troll game? I could have sworn there was. Huh.
Online expressing concern that FNAFworld.com might have actually been hacked. One final message appeared on FNaF.
Of course, there are going to be those people that actually believe that kind of stuff, jeez.
FNAFworld.com right when Lols Hacks said it would. The message read, I has released it, Lols Hacks. Download FNaF World with a
oh my goodness.
Hyperlink to download the game. And once you downloaded the game, this is what you saw.
Okay, again with the dancing. First Corey and now Dawko. Okay.
Oh! Whoa, this music!
The game was once again a reskin.
This is a weird looking game.
Of one of Scott's older games, Fighter Mage Bard. The community
That's crazy.
actually didn't mind this troll game and seemed to have a lot of fun with it. On October 30th, 2015, FNaF 4 Halloween Edition was released, one day before its scheduled release. Scott even took...
Oh. So it was October 30th. Yeah, that would make sense considering Scott's history with release dates.
Took to Steam to joke about how we should be proud of him for releasing it this close to the actual release date. Although people were hoping for some answers about the lore and maybe an opening of the box, none of that happened. But it was still a very fun update to an already great game. The new
I'm probably gonna play FNaF 4 Halloween Edition this coming October. So if you guys want to see that, let me know.
designs were awesome, and it was so cool to see Nightmare Ione, Nightmare BB, and Nightmare Mangle added to the mix. On the same day as the release of FNaF 4 Halloween Edition, Scott posted the teaser trailer for FNaF World on his YouTube channel. The beginning of the trailer was not like anything we were expecting. It looked like a regular FNaF trailer until about 34 seconds in. The trailer featured all of the characters we saw in Scott games grouped into teams of 4 battling obscure enemies we've never seen before. After listing all of the characters we'd see in the game, we saw possibly the cutest thing ever, Adventure Mangle playing with a paddle ball. It ended with a release date of
That is kind of cute.
Coming soon. The trailer had a mixed reaction from fans. Some criticized the animation style and graphics, while others were curious why this game was being made in the first place. But overall, I would say a majority of the community loved the trailer and was looking forward to the new game. The game was looking to be a lighthearted entry to the series, but the lightheartedness did not last for long. On November 2nd, 2015, we got possibly the creepiest FNAF teaser to this day. When you went on scottgames.com, it looked like there was nothing there. But when you brightened the dark image, what you saw was what appeared to be Mangle hanging himself with the words, "Look what you've all done."
What?
Community was shocked by this teaser, to say.
Okay, this I don't really remember, but oh my goodness. That is dark. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm creeped out by it, but that is dark.
The least. A lot of people were concerned about Scott's well-being after this teaser. Within an hour, the teaser was gone off of FNAFworld.com, and we still to this day have no idea how it connects to FNAF World. Scott Games then remained dark for nearly a month. Scott finally came back on November 29th with a new teaser. This teaser featured a weird version of Balloon Boy's head with the words "Madness takes many forms" at the bottom. It seemed like Scott wanted to show us that there was going to be a dark side to FNAF World, but initially maybe went too far. This teaser seemed to keep the same promise with a little course correction on exactly how dark he wanted to go. On December 11th, 2015, ScottGames.com updated with a teaser for the first ever FNAF book. Initially, it was titled Five Nights at Freddy's The
I forgot about the books, oh my goodness.
Untold Story, but was later changed to The Silver Eyes and was given a release date of December.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure this is the Silver Eyes.
November 22nd, 2015. Of course, in true Scott Cawthon fashion, it was released 5 days early on December 17th, 2015. Shortly after the book was released, some people in the community were upset that the book did not directly align with the games. People thought that maybe this book would help solve some of the lore from the games, but Scott had different intentions. 3 days later, Scott announced that the FNAF books overall weren't directly canon to the official FNAF games. Basically, the book was a part of the FNAF multiverse, the same characters, same locations, but different turn of events. For the next month, we didn't really get much. On December 4th, we got a Merry Christmas FNAF World teaser, and then on New Year's Day 2016, we got an update from Scott on the progress of FNAF World, saying that he's still working hard and, quote, "It's becoming a bigger game than I'd first planned it to be, but that's a good thing." On January 8th, 2016, we got a second trailer for FNAF World that was only posted on IndieDB. The trailer was basically a copy of the first one, but it just added new gameplay shots. On January 12th, 2016, Scott took to Steam to give us an official release date for FNAF World. The game would be hitting Steam on February 19th, followed by the mobile ports in the following weeks.
And the mobile ports never got released. That's crazy.
Also announced that he and his wife had just had a baby boy. Quote, "In other news, I had a new addition to my family today, a baby boy. I'm typing this from the hospital now, as a matter of fact. So obviously that has still kept me a little busy as well." Scott later updated
That's nice.
the release date to the weekend of January 23rd to 24th, stating, "I won't make it to February 19th. Clear your schedules for this weekend, winky
Oh no.
face." Then he said on January 21st, "The game will release tomorrow, guys. Relax." Then again, I've never been good with release dates. And
True, that's true. Scott has never been good with release dates, on God.
And he did exactly not that. He released the game that day, on January 21st. The game
Yup. Honestly, this isn't really a surprise at this point, let's be honest. Yeah, FNAF World was an interesting game, though. If you guys want to see me play that at some point, let me know. I probably won't be playing it in October like the other games, though.
quickly started getting mixed reviews, with a lot of people finding bugs and noticing missing features that they thought would be there. People also didn't like that the overworld was in 2D and not 3D like the trailers insinuated. The game held an ironic 87% on Steam, which was overall very good, but there were a lot of negative reviews. Scott reacted very quickly to the mixed reactions, creating a post on Steam titled "To the Community." In the post, he talks about how people have accused him of releasing his games too early in the past, mentioning that he never felt he did that until now. He apologized for the state of FNAF World and promised to keep updating the game to turn it into what he envisioned. 3 days later, Scott announced that he was taking FNAF World off of Steam despite its 87% rating.
I still can't believe that he actually had that game on Steam. For sale, might I add. Not free, but for sale. At least now it's free. That's good. It's good that it's free now, but I mean still, it used to be for sale for, I don't really know how much it was, but Damn.
He said that he's working on a new version of the game with a fully 3D world and all of the features he promised in the past. This time, the game would be released for free on GameJolt. This new version of the game would soon be released on February 8th, 2016 to GameJolt, just as promised. The game had a fully 3D world and even featured some new content, including a man sitting at a desk telling us to go away. On February 18th, 2016, FNAFworld.com and ScottGames.com updated with new teasers. The FNAFworld.com teaser announced a FNAF World Update 2.
Oh yeah, update 2, yeah. The Halloween update to FNAF World.
2, while ScottGames.com had lines. No words, nothing.
Oh yeah, this was the first thing that started advertising for Sister Location, right? So Sister Location was, this was the start of Sister Location, is what I'm trying to say.
Nothing when you brighten the image, just 17 lines all in a row. Most of the community thought it was some sort of timeline. Some thought it was related to the FNAF movie, and some thought maybe, just maybe, we'd be getting FNAF 5. 8 days later, on February...
And technically you did. It's Sister Location. It's not technically called FNAF 5, but you know what I mean.
26, one of the lines changed into the letter I, with an N...
Yeah, wow.
...seen above the lines to the left when the image was brightened. Still, no one had any idea what this meant. Obviously, it was trying to spell something out, but what? 2 weeks later, the lines were updated again. Another I with an A in the top right when brightened.
He's trying to spell Sister Location.
Once again, it was spelling out something, but nobody could figure it out with so little letters. 11 days...
Yeah, I know, right? It's just hard.
Days later, an O was added. 2 weeks after that, another O was added along with the word never at the bottom when brightened. The community was collectively confused until April 23rd, 2016, when the first official teaser for FNAF's sister...
Oh, here it is, Sister Location. There was never just one.
Location was posted.
Actually, we have played this game recently as well, so.
Teaser featured a brand new animatronic with the words, "There was never just one" at the bottom. No one had any idea who this new animatronic was. All they knew was that it looked like a clown animatronic. This game looked like it was going to be a clean slate for FNAF, with new characters and a new location, and the community couldn't be more excited. On May 3rd, 2016, the release date for FNAF World Update 2 was announced on FNAFworld.com. The update was set to release on May 13th, 2016, and fans were hyped since that was only 10 days away. To everyone's surprise, the update actually came out on its set release date. The new update featured 8 new party members, 9 minigames, 2 new areas, a new ending, new abilities, and 3 enemies. The community loved this new update. The new minigames were fun, annoying, and creepy all at the same time. This
fun, annoying, and creepy. Yeah, that sounds like FNAF World.
was when we first met Chica's Magic Rainbow.
Oh, I hate this. I do not like Chica's Magic Rainbow. I do not plan on playing this ever.
Foxy.exe, and this.
You won't get tired. Oh no, I love your voice. Oh, no, that's not my editing, guys. I swear.
I like how he literally has to say that it's not my editing. Yeah, we know it's a part of the game.
It sounds like something I would do.
It sounds like something I would do. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
One of the biggest parts of the update came from the man sitting at the desk that I mentioned earlier. After beating the main boss, we got to hear the voice of a new animatronic.
This is where we got to hear Circus Baby's voice for the first time.
Named Baby, which was presumed to be the animatronic currently on ScottGames.com.
The show will begin momentarily.
On May 11th, some of the mysteries about Sister Location were no longer mysteries. Magicraft Cat on Reddit found what seemed to be the names of all of the new characters that were going to be in Sister Location. The names were found under Scott's name on copyright. .gov. When you copyright something, most of the time it becomes public information. So when Scott went to copyright his new characters, it wouldn't be long until fans found them. And they did. The community was disappointed and worried about the characters being leaked, but there was one person who wasn't. Scott Cawthon. Scott replied to the Reddit post with the leaks saying, "No worries guys, the characters needed to be copyrighted and I knew this would get out. Have fun speculating." On May 15th, someone asked Scott on Steam if there would be voice acting in Sister Location. He replied with, "Yes, there will be voice acting in Sister Location." 5 days later on May 16th.
Oh, yeah. All the voice acting in Sister Location. Sister Location was like the first FNAF game in the horror series of games, in the mainstream games or whatever. that have voice acting. It has voice acting, right? It was the first horror game in the FNaF series that has voice acting. So
2016, we got a new sister location teaser, and
this is about in this picture we get a better look of Circus Baby, as you can see.
our first good look at the newest animatronic,
Everyone, please stay in your seats.
Baby. The teaser had text at the bottom that read, "Everyone please stay in your seats." I remember one of the big things about this teaser is that people thought they could see the reflection of Springtrap in Baby's nose, and I kind of still believe that to be the case. The FNaF hype was officially back. We were getting FNaF 5 with new characters, a new location, and according to Scott on Steam, the game would also feature full voice acting. FNaF was not going anywhere anytime soon. On May 21st,
This is gonna be fun.
2016, the sister location trailer hit YouTube, and it was unlike anything we were ever expecting. The trailer had an extremely futuristic vibe to it, and the animatronics' faces moved. The trailer...
Yeah, that is crazy. Where did Scott come up with this idea? Then again, might as well be at this point, I might as well be asking how the hell did Scott come up with the idea to make FNaF in the first place?
showed us some glimpses of gameplay while you could hear "Don't."
Well, I know how he, I know why he made FNaF, but how did he come up with the idea for the game, for the concept?
Hold it against us in the background. Towards the end of the trailer, we got the amazing shot of all four of the new animatronics performing together, and then it ended with a baby jump scare that we never actually got to see in the final game. The trailer blew everyone away, but also left people with a lot of questions. How does this fit into the lore? When does this game take place? Where does this game take place? Is it going to be free roam? What's the last 4 digits of your social security number?
I know, right? That's what it feels like.
1 month after the trailer on June 17th,
ooh, we got a picture of Ennard.
2016, we got a new teaser on scottgames.com. This time it featured a torn
Hello, me and everybody.
apart animatronic with a clown-like mask. This is an animatronic we have never seen before, and now that the names of the new characters were leaked, it was a guessing game for what its name was. It was either called Ennard, Bidybab, or Mini Rena, since those were the ones we haven't seen yet. Most people were speculating that this was Ennard based on the similarities of the words innard and Ennard. There was text at the bottom of the teaser that said, "There's a little of me in every body," with the space between every and body. In the source code, sometime around this image's release, we found what seemed to be a schedule for all of the animatronics, insinuating that these animatronics didn't belong to one single pizzeria, but were being rented out by people through this facility. We also found a short list of people and companies renting out these animatronics, one of them being named Chica's Party World. Chica's Party World is a place we have yet to see in the franchise and remains a mystery to this day. We also saw text that seemed to read Afton Robotics, which is a direct reference to the first FNaF book where the stand-in for Purple Guy was named William Afton. Was Scott really about to take a page out of his own book? On June 23rd, 2016, Scott announced that he had just signed a 3-book deal with Scholastic, one of the biggest publishers on the planet. Spoiler alert, Scholastic would go on to publish over 20 FNaF books and counting. I guess the first 3 ended up doing pretty well. Over 2 weeks later, on July 9th, 2016, we got another teaser on scottgames.com. The Minions, I mean the Bidybabs.
The Minions, I mean the Bidybabs. that is kind of funny though. I mean, I guess the Bidybabs are more or less Circus Baby's minions, so.
The common themes with the sister location teasers was that no one knew what the heck was going on. With all of the other teasers for past games, you were able to theorize more about the game, but these were so new that it was hard to find something to say about them. But these teasers were an amazing showcase of all the new characters we'd be seeing in the game, and Scott really did do a good job with them. Less than 2 weeks later, on July 21st, we got this teaser with the text, "Get back on your stage, now." The teaser had a panel at the center with 2 buttons, one to turn on the lights and the other to shock the animatronics into getting them back on stage, although the community didn't know that at the time. Some people speculated that the red button was going to regenerate or power up the animatronics, but we all know how that turned out.
Let's encourage Baby to cheer up with a controlled shock.
When the image was brightened, you could see tiny dancing ballerinas on stage, which the community correctly identified as the Mini-Renas. August 1st, 2016 was the day that the Steam page for Sister Location went live with brand new gameplay screenshots and a description of the game. Welcome to Circus Baby's Pizza World, where family fun and interactivity go beyond anything you've seen at those other pizza places. With cutting-edge animatronic entertainers that will knock your kids' socks off, as well as customized pizza catering, no party is complete without Circus Baby and the gang. Now hiring late-night technician must enjoy cramped spaces and be comfortable around active machinery, not responsible for death or dismemberment. Obviously, we were not
Yep, sounds like Fazbear and entertainment to say that.
Not going to be the people enjoying our birthday parties with Circus Baby. We were going to be the late night technician, probably getting way underpaid for all the horrors that he was about to witness. The day,
and instead of getting actual money, he literally got exotic butters. Oh, okay. So now he's talking about whatever happened on the day of FNAF's second anniversary. Okay.
is August 8th, 2016, and it's the 2-year anniversary of FNAF. Scott celebrated the anniversary by releasing 7 new images to ScottGames.com. This time, it was behind-the-scenes images from FNAF 1 and FNAF 3. These images were such a treat for the community since Scott has never really shared something like this ever before. But a week later, another big sister location leak appeared on Reddit. On August 15th, people found what seemed to be a full list of voice actors and some actual audio clips from the game. These were some
Okay. I see.
Pretty big leaks, but Scott took the last leaks really well, so surely he'd be taking these ones pretty.
Oh my god, as you say that, this pops up. Cancelled due to leaks. Oh, that's funny.
Cancelled due to leaks. On August 16th, the community collectively panicked until they brightened the image. If you brighten the image, you could see a ton of text talking about how there was...
Oh, sly bastard. And yeah, that's just how Scott is. He's very slick when it comes to these things. You need to brighten up the image to get the full picture, you know what I'm saying? At least a lot of the time you do.
The Circus Baby's Pizza World restaurant for a short period of time, but it was shut down due to gas leaks. This confirmed that the Funtime animatronics actually came from a restaurant and were being repurposed for the rental company. This also confirmed that something fishy happened at Circus Baby's Pizza World since it closed way too soon, and for a reason like gas leaks that doesn't really warrant permanent closure. Scott collectively freaked everyone out for about 5 whole minutes since he was obviously messing around with the fact that there were leaks for his game a day prior. 11 days later, on August 27th, 2016, we got the official release date for sister location on ScottGames.com. The new teaser featured Enner's mask with When Brightened Up, the release date of October 7th, 2016. This teaser...
But did he actually stick to the release date? Question mark? Well, I guess we're about to find out. But knowing Scott, he probably didn't, but I guess we shall find out anyway.
Was replaced very shortly after with this one, showing the release date more clearly. But another big reveal lied within the source code of ScottGames.com. In the source code, there were 2 strings of characters. If you put them together and then pasted them into the URL of Scott Games, you would be directed to the map for sister location. And then, if you brighten this secret image, you could see 2 secret rooms above and below the Funtime Auditorium. Scott...
Oh yeah, it's really, faint. But yeah, that's really faint, so you can hardly see it unless you brighten the image. Well, even if you brighten the image, you can hardly see it, so.
Really made us dig for this one. After these new teasers, ScottGames.com wasn't updated for about a month. On September 24th, 2016, Ennard went missing. This is still one of the strangest teasers we've gotten on ScottGames.com. My guess is that Scott wanted to remind people that the game was still coming out, but didn't have time to create a new teaser, but the real reason remains a mystery. This
yeah, fair enough.
Next moment is one of my all-time favorite...
Scott is all about his mysteries.
...moments in the whole entire FNAF history, so please buckle up. It was October 4th, 2016.
Okay.
3 days before Sister Location's set release. An unexpected post from Scott Cawthon hit Steam.
Hey guys, I wanted to let everyone know what I've decided, and it's just a warning. A lot of you aren't going to be happy about it, but please try to understand. Ever since I started making games, I wanted to be a world builder. I never wanted to make gimmicky games or things that didn't mean something. I wanted to create experiences that would really have an impact on people. I feel like I got to do that with the first few games, but somehow I feel like I let myself get too dark with this one. Things went sideways, and I look at this game now, and I'm unsure of how it will affect people. So then what am I supposed to do? Release something that offends me just to satisfy those who want to play it? Or do I take the time and effort to really craft something that everyone can enjoy? The answer is obvious to me. But I think I have the solution. This is the part most of you won't like. I'm going to release the mature version of the game by itself in sections, not as part of the timeline, not as part of the lore.
We'll pick it apart probably.
So there was a... Is that why there was a game called Sister Location MA? And whatever.
Probably
and not as part of the story, but just because I promised that I would. I promised a game, and I don't want to be one of those developers who endlessly delays their game's release. I'm going to release...
Right, yeah, it's bad to become one of those developers, you know what I'm saying?
the game in chapters. However, not the whole game at once, since it puts a strain on the servers over at GameJolt.
It actually looked like Scott Cawthon was concerned about how dark he made Sister Location. He even went so far as to flag the game that he posted on GameJolt as mature, prompting you to click continue before you can see the game page. A lot of people in the community weren't buying it because of Scott's trolling history, but one of the
I mean, I guess fair enough. Can you really blame the people?
best moments in the history of FNaF comes from two people who did buy it.
So, I mean, so this is legit.
Okay.
Like, this came from Scott on Steam.
Let's do it.
It might be a troll game. Let's be honest. But I guess we'll have to find out. Let's get
his official account, so here it is.
This is
disclaimer: content in this game may not be suitable for all audiences. Oh.
the disclaimer.
Yeah, this might be a mature stream. We don't apparently.
This might be a really mature stream. We just have no idea.
What we're
Literally,
getting into.
Jason has not previewed it.
I'm digging the music.
Yeah, let's do this.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a troll game,
man.
And legitimately, I've been excited about Sister Location. You know, because this was a year in the making. So this is the mature version of Sister Location. The real version won't be coming out for another 2 months. So here it is. This is a preview of it.
Okay, so the new.
Who would have ever guessed? Who would have ever guessed that this would be a troll game, or as it actually is, just a reskin of one of his older games normally. So there's that. But yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Are you kidding me? Are you effing kidding me?
Oh, it was a
Who would have guessed, huh? Who would have guessed?
troll. Was it a troll the whole time?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, we got trolled.
Are you kidding me?
This is the equivalent of getting rickrolled on the
Are
internet.
you kidding?
The equivalent of getting rickrolled. I mean, I guess you're not wrong.
They were so good. They were
Damn
so good.
it!
The chat warned us.
Damn it!
They did.
Yeah, he's literally like, damn it. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. This guy is freaking all about his trolls, man. Just by looking at the title screen, I knew right away that was a troll game. Come on now. I mean, Scott's actual games do not look like that. Let's be real here.
Such a good job. I'm so proud of whoever this troll is. They did like so amazing.
No, this is Scott. This is Scott. You're proud of.
Yeah, this is Scott.
Effing Scott Cawthon for damn it!
That is one of my favorite clips in the history of FNaF, but jokes aside, it really did show how much MatPat cared about the games and was so excited for the new game to come out. They just unfortunately fell victim to one of Scott's many trolls. On October 7th, 2016...
Yeah, Scott did a lot of trolls. I still don't understand how the hell they fell for that. I honestly didn't really fall for that. And I didn't even know what Sister Location MA was, honestly.
The real FNaF Sister Location was officially released. The community fell in love with the game.
Like, I heard about I've seen it on GameJolt, but I really didn't know what it was.
Despite it leaving us with more questions than answers yet again. The game led you through Circus Baby's entertainment and rental while you had the night shift as a technician. You were being guided
There's no number
by Hand Unit, a talking portable keypad. Once again, this is not a lore video, but the game did tell a pretty compelling story that you had to research for days after the game to fully understand, but it was compelling nonetheless. The game had great voice acting, great jump scares, and even a great twist. The game quickly became a lot of people's favorites in the franchise. Here's a quick speed round. On October 17th, Scott announced that he was making a new custom night for Sister Location. He announced this with a teaser on Scott Games and a post on Steam. He stated that the update would be free and not canon to the main game. On October 22nd, Scott announced that FNaF The Silver Eyes was a #1 New York Times bestseller, thanking the community. On October 30th, MatPat released his new Sister Location theory, and Scott commented on it on Steam, saying that regardless of what people may agree with or disagree with about the theory itself, I think this was one of his best videos. It was well made, it was entertaining, and he really did find some things that no one else had found yet. Fast forward to November 27th, 2016, when we got a new teaser and release date for the Sister Location custom night. It was slated
nice. So, yeah, I did play Sister Location custom night as well, guys, so if you want to go check that out on my channel, you can.
to release December 1st, which was literally a few days.
Are you ready for round 2?
days away. Then on December 1st, Sister Location's custom night arrived. The custom night was
Oh, so Scott actually stuck with his release date. You know what? I'm impressed.
in the style of all the FNAF games that came before it, but of course it had its own special twists. The update wasn't as big of a deal as a mainline FNAF release, but people still seem to really like the update. And as much as Scott said the custom night would not be canon, if you got far enough in the game, you would unlock one of the most canon cutscenes in all of FNAF. 2017. On January 17th, 2017, Scott posted a new teaser on FNAFworld.com announcing that an iOS and Android port of the game was coming soon. FNAF World ended up releasing on Android for 1 day before it was pulled from the App Store. FNAF World was then never released on iOS. The mobile
Oh, it was on Android for 1 day? Okay.
port of FNAF World seemed to be a stripped-down version of the PC game and got a lot of backlash. Scott responded to someone on Reddit and said, "Guys, I'm sorry, I promise I will never touch this game again. I thought..."
Yeah, wow. That is sad that FNAF World didn't get the love that most people wanted it to get. Or not most people, but some people wanted it to get. I personally loved FNAF World. So, damn. That sucks.
Thought I was doing a good thing, but it was obviously a bad idea. After that, we would never receive any future news or updates about FNAF World ever again. After the release of Sister Location's Custom Night, the community still had the movie to look forward to. On January 31st, 2017, Scott posted an update about the FNAF movie on Steam, saying that the FNAF movie was met with several delays and roadblocks, and
oh wow.
As a result, the movie was back at square one. This was not—
Oh no. Of course. Well, honestly, the movie's still not out. Hopefully it'll be out in either late 2023 or 2024. But it should be out within that time frame, so there's that.
Not the update we were expecting, since it's been almost 2 years since the movie was announced at this point. But Scott reassured everyone that this was a good thing because he was going to be involved with the movie from day one this time, implying that maybe the studio started making changes to the movie that Scott didn't fully agree with. 2 months later, Scott posted his first and last ever tweet. The tweet featured a photo of a director's chair with Freddy's name on it, along with Blumhouse Productions in the background. This was pretty good news because Blumhouse is known for making some pretty good horror movies, so FNAF was officially in good hands. ScottGames.com went dark on January 7th and remained that way for over 6 months, the longest period of time without a Scott Games update since FNAF began. The silence ended when a new teaser was posted on Scott Games and FNAFworld.com on June 11th, 2017. On FNAFworld.com, all you could see was eyeballs, similar to babies.
Oh yeah, this was where FNAF 6 started, okay.
But not exactly. No one had any idea what these were teasing. Could there actually be a FNAF 6? The teaser on Scott Games was to promote the newest FNAF book, Five Nights at Freddy's: The Twisted Ones. Scott would then update Scott Games throughout the month.
Ooh. Yeah, wow. Too bad we never got to see the Twisted Ones or the Twisted animatronics in an actual game, you know. And as some of you may already know, but some of you probably don't, I'm not the first wolf animatronic in the FNAF series. This guy right here is. This is Twisted Wolf, and he's a lot older than me. But still, I still am the better wolf, so there's that.
Month of June with new teasers for
and you guys can't say otherwise, so.
The book leading up to its release on June 27th, 2017. On June 30th, Scott released a long post on Steam with some major updates. He announced that he's been working on a new game, possibly FNAF 6, and that he needs to take a break from the development of the game. He goes on to say that he's a bit burnt out and the expectations to keep making the games better and better have got to him. He said that he was just taking a break and that he'll be back eventually. He then announces that a VR game is on the way and that the FNAF movie is now in safe hands with Blumhouse. He ends the post saying that he hopes we can understand and respect his decision. Most of the community was happy Scott was taking a break since he was working non-stop since 2014, but others in the community did not really like this post and actually thought that he might be trolling. This led—
oh yeah, because you know how Scott is with his trolls.
To Scott editing his post saying that he'd rather just say the new game is canceled rather than leaving everyone on hold indefinitely. He also said that he wants to make something more lighthearted to help him relax and that it would be free. The next time we got an update on ScottGames.com—
oh yeah, because FNAF 6 is free, but only on PC. Why? That just doesn't make sense to me, you know? Why is FNAF 6, or Pizzeria Simulator, or whatever you want to call it, why is that game free on PC, but yet on mobile it costs money? That just never made sense to me.
was for FNAF's 3rd anniversary on August 8th, 2017. Scott, for the 2nd year in a row, showed us some behind-the-scenes images of him working on the past FNAF games, but this time something was off. Out of the 9 images we got, 3 of them seemed to feature parts of some animatronics that we've never seen before. Maybe Scott was done with his break, or maybe these were just nothing. The community wasn't really sure at the time. The last teaser we got on the anniversary was of the Freddy plushie from FNAF 4. Nothing when you brighten it up, and nothing notable in the source code. 10 days later on
Oh, that's kind of weird. I don't know why that teaser exists, but okay.
August 18th, 2017, this image dropped on scottgames.com. The image was of the FNAF 2 8-bit Freddy with a rainbow following him. Because it was the FNAF 2 Freddy, people were speculating that Scott was trying to hint that the new game would take place during that era. 2 months later,
And yet, that's not even close to true, because it takes place after FNAF 3.
on October 28th, 2017, the 8-bit Freddy teaser was updated to feature 3 kids standing around him. That's it. On November 8th, 2017, the image changed to Freddy juggling some pizzas around. Still, the community had
I don't think Freddy can actually do that IRL, just saying.
no idea what Scott was up to. Meanwhile, on FNAFworld.com, the eyes that showed up a while ago have now closed. We ended up getting an update from Scott 18 days later on November 26th, where he said that he was going to make an announcement about a new cast/crew member on the movie, but it wasn't fully set in stone, so he didn't want to. He also said that he refused to let a full year go by without a new FNAF game, so he's whipping up something fun for us for the holidays. We would soon learn what that was on December 1st, 2017, when Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator was announced on Scott Games. It looked like this was going to be a fun 8-bit styled game from Scott, but some of the community had their doubts and maybe their expectations a little too high. A lot of people thought they were literally getting FNAF 6, but it looks like Scott wasn't trolling this time. On December 3rd, we got another
Well, Scott, just because Scott has a history of trolling doesn't mean he's always trolling, you know what I'm saying?
teaser with the countdown to the game. 2 days left. The next day, 1 day left.
Oh yeah, okay, so this, he actually had a countdown, kind of like Security Breach.
And on that day, December 4th, 2017, Scott took to Steam to apologize to the community. He saw the response to the teasers and was sorry if he may have overhyped the game. He reassured the community that this was just a fun game and nothing big at all. He ended by saying that he was just going to release the game today instead of tomorrow, so the game released. And this is what happened.
What the? Yep, this gameplay, I remember it. I definitely remember this.
What the
What the He's trying so hard not to drop an F-bomb.
Frick! The frick going on?
That reaction is so funny.
Oh! Oh!
Yep, there it is. Scrap, baby.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Okay, Doko, you don't have to scream, man. Go on.
Oh! Oh my!
I get that you're excited, but wow.
The biggest memory, of course,
I guess that's fair enough, I guess.
is when we thought we were just playing a little 8-bit sprite game, feeding
I'm sure there are some people that actually thought that was just an 8-bit game.
pizzas to kids, right? And then the game glitched, and then bam! Scrap Baby on the interview table with the tape with Henry. Oh my god. If you guys have seen my reaction.
Yeah, damn. I don't know if I plan on playing Pizzeria Simulator in the future. I don't really know. I don't really plan on doing it right now. I don't know if I want to do it, but I guess if you guys want me to do it at some point, I will do it at some point in the future. Whatever.
To that, that's my best memory. Being trolled by Scott and getting a full game, completely free by the way. It was completely free. Seeing Scrap Baby in the interview.
I still don't understand why the hell Scott released Pizzeria Simulator for free on PC, and yet it costs money on mobile. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Room 10 out of 10, best memory, hands down.
Scott's fun little game for the holidays ended up being FNAF 6. Scott successfully trolled the community once again. The game was partly a Pizzeria Simulator and partly a full-on FNAF game. People loved the Pizzeria Simulator part of the game where you could make money and spend it on upgrading your pizzeria.
Yeah, I gotta admit, that part is pretty cool, but The nerve-wracking part is when you get into the office.
You could also play some of the mini games that you bought, which actually led us to some of the biggest lore bits we've ever gotten. Each night of the game, you were offered a new animatronic to either throw away or keep. If you kept it, you would have to deal with fending it off once you entered the FNaF part of the game. If you collected all the animatronics and successfully made it to 6 a.m., you unlocked one of the best cutscenes in any FNaF
What 6 a.m.? Whatever.
game ever.
Connection terminated.
Oh yeah, this scene. This is like literally one of my favorite scenes in FNaF 6, not even joking.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If you still even remember that name.
This game was a joy, and the fanbase loved it, especially that ending cutscene. The game gave us a lot of answers to the lore, which is something that fans really have been wanting, but it also left a lot of questions on the table. But in Scott's own words, some things are best left forgotten for now. After the release of Pizzeria Simulator, we didn't really hear much from Scott until February 12th, 2018, when he announced that Chris Columbus would be writing, directing, and producing the FNaF movie. 4 days later, on February 16th, 2018, Scott gave another update on Steam titled Future of FNaF Games and Update Ideas. In the post, he said that he's had a lot of good opportunities come and go, mostly because he wanted to finish off the series himself. He was happy with the state of the franchise and how he ended Pizzeria Simulator, and announced that if there was going to be another major FNaF game, he wouldn't be the one making it. Some people say that this was the actual moment that Scott retired, but he wasn't done.
Well, not yet.
Done quite yet. He had ideas for
Scott retired while Security Breach was being developed, just in case you guys are wondering.
An update to Pizzeria Simulator, which featured an ultimate custom night with
Okay, I'll stop giving things away now. I'll just let John speak.
with a lot more characters added to the game. The community responded well to this news, so he edited the post saying he's going to begin work on Ultimate Custom Night and to keep an eye on Scott Games to see his progress. And boy,
Yeah, like he literally had a whole progress bar going on the Scott Games. That's crazy.
boy did he update Scott Games. A lot. 2 days later, on February 18th, 2018, Scott updated Scott Games for the
there was this here first. Oh my goodness. Remember when there was only gonna be like, I think it was 40 characters if I'm not mistaken. Let's see.
first time with 40 blank boxes, which meant there were
And supposedly there were only gonna be 40 characters, but then he changed it to 50.
going to be 40 animatronics in Ultimate Custom
I
Night.
think there was one in between 19 and 2, but whatever.
After this point, Scott uploaded over 65 new teasers to Scott Games in the span of 4 months. So I hope you'll forgive me for not going over every teaser and telling you the exact day that they released. Over time, the list grew to over 50 animatronics, with Scott updating a Steam post frequently with every animatronic and their exact
Ultimate Custom Night coming later this year.
gameplay mechanics. On May 10th, 2018, Dawko uploaded a YouTube video to his channel. Nothing unusual there, he posts mostly every day, until you clicked on it.
Uh-oh. Oh, one of these. Oh no. I think I remember seeing this video, but I'm not for certain. Oh, damn. Oh, God.
This is a message to Scott. Scott, I'm giving you 24 hours.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, now I remember this video.
In the video, Dawko pretended to take 4 people hostage and demanded that Scott make 50-20 mode easier. Dawko did this because he had been trying to make a bet with Scott. If he can beat 50-20 mode in Ultimate Custom Night, Scott has to do an interview with him on his channel.
I like how his eyes started glowing there.
After Dawko posted this video, Scott actually responded via a YouTube comment and a Steam post saying that the bet is on, but if Dawko gives up on 50-20 mode, he has to make a FNaF fan game called FNaF 7. Dawko was now more determined than ever to beat 50-20 mode and get that interview. While all of this was going on, we got the final installment in the FNaF book trilogy, FNaF The Fourth Closet, on June 26, 2018. The next day, on June 27th, Ultimate Custom Night was released for free on Steam, and the race to beat 50-20 mode was on. In the meantime, the game featured more lore than
One thing that I find weird is that Markiplier usually beats the 20, well, I guess it's not that weird, but Markiplier usually beats the 20 modes on the games in FNaF. He didn't beat 50-20 mode in Ultimate Custom Night. Not once. Huh.
we were expecting with every
I think I remember watching a live stream where he revisited Ultimate Custom Night, and yeah.
single character in the game having voice acting.
He still, I don't remember if he did beat 50-20 mode in that live stream, I wasn't really watching the whole thing, but whatever.
Acting in different cutscenes after progressing in the game. A lot of the voice lines were lore heavy, but some of them were interesting. Cue Mr. Hippo. If you died to this animatronic in the game, he would not only jump scare you, but he would then tell you an over 3.5 minute long story that had absolutely nothing to do with the lore, and it was awesome.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. But, you know,
Oh my goodness, one of these, yeah, because Mr. Hippo tells those long-ass stories that you can't skip.
I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't from me, it'd
Oh my
been
goodness.
from someone else, you know? I guess what I'm trying to say...
Over on GT Live, MattPet was trying to pick apart the lore of the game, curious about the anime-styled cutscenes featured as you progressed.
Hey, did what?
それで鳥を撃ったかそれとも捕まえようとしただろうか
I'm so confused.
笑いカワセミの
I don't blame you.
服を着た笑いカワセミの隣に座った私は
I know, right? It is so confusing. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you.
Scenes were silly. That's it, they were just silly. Overall, people loved Ultimate Custom Night. It's one of the highest rated FNaF games on Steam with an overwhelming positive score from reviewers. The game was a success and the community was happy. Oh, where was Dako?
Oh no, this. Where you beat 50, 20.
Oh!
Yep, there it is.
Oh my god!
There it is.
Oh my god! Are you kidding me? Ultimate Custom Night.
I remember Dako beating that. Yep.
I think you already know what my favourite memory is. Right.
Dako ended up beating 50-20 mode with a reaction that became one of the biggest memes in the franchise to this day. Dako officially won an interview with Scott Cawthon, the first and only audio interview that he would ever do. Dako was surprisingly not the first one to complete 50-20 mode. A YouTuber by the name of Remery completed it a day before Dako on July 8th, 2018, officially becoming, we think, the first ever person to beat 50-20 mode. Remery was then followed by Dako on July 9th and DJ Sturf on July 10th. The community rallied together to try and get this done, with DJ uploading tutorials on how to more effectively beat 50-20.
Seeing
Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, DJ Sturf is really good at beating the 20 modes in the games.
Dako cross the finish line
Very, very smart man. Oh yeah, definitely.
was one of my favorite memories from the entire series, though. Not too long before Ultimate Custom Night came out, Dako was in the hospital with a collapsed lung, and I wanted to be sure that he
Oh, I feel bad for Dako. Poor Dako.
didn't go back to the hospital, so
Yeah, thank God he's back.
I guess mission accomplished on that one. Previously, Dako didn't have much of a history of finishing the hardest modes, and I mean, I've always seen him as more of the face of the franchise, and he's very personable, and you know, he's great with the community, so yeah, that's more of what he focused on, and he's kind of like a stress-light type player by nature, but he's very capable of beating the hardest modes.
On July 9th, Scott congratulated
Exactly.
all of the people who have completed
And hell, I watched DJ Sturf help Dako beat 10-20 mode in FNaF 2.
50-20 mode, including Remery, Dako, and DJ Sturf. The interview was posted on August 8th, 2018, and was a joy to watch. Dako asked some great questions, and Scott gave some great answers. It was really cool to hear the voice of someone who has made such a big impact on so many people's lives. The interview's a great watch, and I recommend going to check it out after this video. I got a lot of information for this video out of that interview, actually. On August 19th, Scott made a
Alright, fair enough. That's cool.
long Steam post about all of the upcoming projects planned related to FNaF. First, he talked about a movie and how he already had a few scripts written. He announced that the story would be based around the first game and that the possible second movie would be based on the second game. Secondly, he said that the VR game is coming along well and that he was creeped out by the demo Steelwool Studios sent him. Steelwool Studios is a small
Oh yeah, this is where Steelwool Studios joined the FNaF community.
game studio based out of California who were set to make the first official FNaF VR game. Scott said that a FNaF AR game is also coming, but it's in its infancy. Lastly, he mentioned that he would like to make a game just for fun for the community, along the same lines as Update 2 for FNaF World. There were a lot of projects coming and the community was super hyped about the future of FNaF. ScottGames.com stayed dark for nearly 8 months until it was updated on March 11th, 2019. A new teaser dropped for the FNaF VR game that
Everything is working as intended. Fazbear Entertainment.
Scott was teasing, including some hidden teasers in the source code. The main teaser featured brand new models of some of the animatronics we knew and loved, all mushed together with the words "everything is working as intended" in the top left. The teaser
Yeah, remember looking at these teasers for the first time. But it's like, wow. That's crazy.
Featured some hidden text that directly
And this was like after I was built, obviously, but still.
connected back to the lore of the main games, including Remember
Jeremy.
So it was looking like the VR game was going to be canon. One problem occurred with this new teaser though. It seemed that Steel will either unknowingly or knowingly use the likeness of some fan models in the teaser. Scott went to Reddit and announced that he has taken down the teaser and plans to think about where to go from here. On March 25th, 2019, the trailer for FNaF VR Help Wanted was officially released and it looked awesome. The trailer was short and kind of scattered, but it showed us some really cool gameplay that looked like it would be terrifying in VR. We got the official release date for Help Wanted on April 19th, 2019. The game was set to be released on May 21st, 2019. Fast forward to May 16th and FNaF VR has officially been delayed, but not for long. The release date was pushed 1 week to May 28th just so the studio could polish the game a little bit. Most of the community was accepting of the—
By the way, speaking of these dates, my birthday is actually on May 18th. Like, I'm not even joking. So
news, considering that Steel will
So yeah. So it's coming up, and I'll be wearing this dress on my birthday. I might think of another reaction video that I could do then, but for now, we're reacting to this, so.
Studios was trying to make the game the best it could be. On May 20th, 2019,
I can go out for dinner actually on my birthday, so.
Scott sent a few select YouTubers an early copy of FNaF VR, encouraging them to notify him of any
Markiplier wearing his little cloak brand, not croak, what the hell?
glitches. At the time, they took that comment at face value, but knowing what we know now, he was memeing. Pretty soon, the YouTubers and their audiences were being brought on a new journey through the FNaF universe. A journey that slowly started connecting to the canon of the main lore. The game featured FNaF 1 through 4 with some newly created minigames crafted by Steelwool Studios. It's funny because the minigames, not the actual FNaF games, became most people's favorite part of the game. In the game, Scott Cawthon became canon, the actual FNaF games themselves became canon, and being able to download your consciousness into a video game became canon. Yeah, don't look for answers from me in this video. The game introduced
Okay, fair enough.
Introduced a new but familiar villain, Glitchtrap, who was William Afton, the purple guy, but in digital form. The game—
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Huh. That just made me have a flashback of when we watched, when I reacted to, what was it called? The entire lore of FNaF in a nutshell? I think that's what it was called. Yeah, that was one of my favorite videos on this channel, not even gonna lie.
The game eventually released to the public on May 28th, 2019, and even though it was a bit buggy at first, it ended up being a solid entry to the franchise. Steelwool Studios seemed to be the chosen ones to continue the FNaF lore. Next up was the day that started it all, the beginning of the end, or the beginning of what would be the current day on FNaF.
Right. Oh, FNAF's the 5th anniversary? That's how long ago this was? Oh my goodness. You know what? I believe it because, damn, that is that's 2019. Is it 2019? Yeah, that's 2019. FNaF at this point is over 8.5 years old. Damn.
FNaF's 5th anniversary, Scott released
just 1.5 more years and they'll be officially a decade old. That's crazy.
This teaser on Scott Games, announcing a brand new game that seemed to be set in a mall.
Remember when people used to think I had a skirt? Wow, those were the good old days. But you know what? I love playing Security Breach, and I'm definitely planning on playing it again. Maybe, well, maybe not definitely, but there's Chica, there's Freddy, which looks like Toy Freddy a little bit. There's Monty, which also looks a little different, and there's me.
With brand new animatronics coming in 2020. This was really exciting news because other than the VR game, the community hasn't gotten a proper FNaF game since Pizzeria Simulator back in 2017. The same day, FNAFworld.com was updated with a new image as well, and it was the number 58. When you brighten
Was this for Freddy in Space 2?
in the image, you could see some made-up quotes making fun of the idea of this new game, saying things like probably the worst idea he's ever had and stopped caring after Dream Theory. People started piecing together that in FNaF World Update 2 there was a minigame titled Freddy in Space 57, so it looked like we were getting a sequel to that game.
Scott's much more go with the flow, but he's also kind of in
QA for Freddy in Space 2. This man is very smart. Well, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, he is very smart though, seriously. I gotta give him props for that.
Turbo mode sometimes. I think it was 10 days before the St. Jude charity stream with Freddy in Space 2 that Scott sent me the first email saying, "Hey, can you test this?" And I was like, yeah? And I was thinking, well, how much time? Like, that's going to be very, very, very fast. But the nice part was, with that one in particular, with Freddy in Space 2, it was right around Thanksgiving, and I had several days that I could take off, and I needed to take off of work, so I
we got 14 minutes left in the video, so.
did, and I had a lot of time to devote to that. So it was a bunch of time in a big chunk there all at once, trying to get as many builds and cycles done as possible. I tested the N-1 build, and then when the stream was going on and I saw the version number was one above the one that I tested, I was like, oh no, like, oh no.
On September 13th, 2019, the first trailer for the AR game that Scott teased a while ago was released, and it featured—
Oh my god, that game is so forgettable. I'm not even kidding you. I didn't even remember about that game until you just mentioned it. Oh my goodness, that game is so forgettable. Like, seriously, I don't even think that game exists anymore. I'm not for certain on that, but that game was definitely abandoned, for sure.
None other than Markiplier. Markiplier was now canon to the FNaF universe. The teaser was
supposedly
awesome, and people were really hyped about the game. On September 29th, 2019, FNAFworld.com was updated with
the face that he made is so funny, and here's the first look of me. Oh my goodness. So this is where people saw me for the first time, not as a silhouette. Okay.
FNAFworld.com was updated with the official announcement for Freddy.
That was the first look at me that is not as a silhouette. That's pretty cool.
In Space 2. On the same day, ScottGames.com was updated with a new teaser for Steelwell Studios' upcoming game. It was a closer look at what Freddy would look like in the game. There was nothing much to say about it except that it looked like the game was going to be 80s style. On October 11th, 2019, Steelwell Studios released the official trailer for some Help Wanted DLC. The DLC was Halloween themed and would be called Curse of Dreadbear. The trailer was short.
There it is, Curse of Dreadbear.
Short and mostly cinematic, but it looked to be a fun update to Help Wanted, and the community
it sure as hell looked fun, honestly.
Couldn't wait to see what Steelwell Studio had in store as far as gameplay and the lore. 12 days later, on October 23rd, FNAF VR Curse of Dreadbear was released. The game was an instant hit. It looked like Steelwell took what people loved the most from Help Wanted and expanded on it in the DLC. The minigames were so creative and people really had a good time playing them. The game also expanded on the lore from Help Wanted. At the end of the Corn Maze minigame, we got to see a creepy bunny mask.
I hate Vanny. Please don't make me look at her. Oh my goodness.
In a cellar. You could then use this mask to unlock some secret dialogue at the prize counter. The dialogue hinted that someone was being—
Seriously, Vanny is the worst, but not anymore because, you know, hack protection. You can't get hacked anymore, so suck it, Vanny.
Controlled by Glitchtrap and was set to carry on the legacy that William started when he was fully alive. On November 5th, 2019, ScottGames.com was updated with the same Freddy teaser we saw before, but this time you could see the silhouette of the bunny mask lady we saw.
No, I hate her.
On Curse of Dreadbear. It looked—
you guys don't understand. Being hacked was not a fun experience. Getting shattered, not a fun experience. Getting fixed made me feel better.
Like Steelwell Studios was setting up—
And when I got fixed, I actually got hack protection, so that's how I didn't get hacked again by Vanny. And honestly, I don't even know where Vanny is now, so if I ever see her again, I'm killing her.
The next villain in the FNAF franchise. On November 16th, it was announced that MatPat was doing a big charity stream for St. Jude, and it was going to feature Dawko, Markiplier, and some other cool creators. He didn't—
Oh my goodness, Markiplier. Dawko. Everybody's there.
Didn't know it yet, but Dawko was being flown out to play Freddy in Space 2 with MatPat and Mark, but the game was going to be programmed where the farther you got in the game, the more money Scott would donate to the stream. And the cap—
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, I remember that now. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Cap was $500,000. The stream is going to be live on December 3rd, 2019. Fast forward 9 days to November 25th, 2019, and FNAF AR was officially released. FNAF AR brought some of the—
Damn.
the animatronics from FNaF home with you. Using AR technology, you could literally fight off animatronics
I definitely remember watching these videos going back a couple years ago.
that were invading your home. FNaF AR received several updates over time, adding new characters and skins of the classic animatronics such as Liberty Chica and Toxic Springtrap. A lot of the YouTubers checked out the game and really enjoyed playing it. Overall, at the time, the game had a good reception from the community. On November 30th, Scott Cawthon posted the official trailer for Freddy in Space 2. In the trailer, he promoted the Game Theory charity stream on December 3rd and showed a bunch of gameplay from the new game. Scott ended up dedicating Freddy in Space 2 to Skylar Jin, a YouTuber who loved FNaF and sadly passed away on October 26, 2019 due to
Oh, poor guy.
cancer at the age of 12.
Oh my goodness, I feel so bad. Yeah, cause it reminds me of Technoblade, man. Technoblade also died to cancer, and I honestly can't, that is so sad.
Game Theory charity stream ended up being a success. Mark, Matt, Pat, and Dawko
That's
ended up
good.
winning the whole $500,000 from Scott's game and collectively raised over $1.3 million for St.
That is so good. I like how Markiplier is sitting right next to Dawko. That's so cool.
Jude. On December 17th, to cap
I'm sorry, I'll continue.
off the year, Steelbowl Studios announced their Christmas update to FNaF VR, which ended up being mostly fun cosmetic changes to the game, but also featured a big teaser for their upcoming game that's been teased on Scott Games. In the
Nice.
update, you could actually choose to walk outside of the building. Once outside, you could see a giant mall being built in the distance.
Yep, and this was where the Pizzaplex was being built. Hell yes.
Which was presumably the mall we were seeing in the Scott Games teasers. It's important for me to say that during this time, a new FNaF book series was being released called Fazbear Frights. The first book was released on December 26, 2019. They were books with 3 individual stories based on the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. These stories were not directly tied to the games, but they did help answer some questions from the lore. Once again, this is not a FNaF lore video, but I just thought I'd mention that. Our next teaser from the new game came on March 24th, 2020.
Now we get a better look at Monty. Yeah, I do not like Monty, okay? I just don't like Monty.
The teaser featured a brand new animatronic in the form of
It's annoying having to live with him, you know what I'm saying?
an alligator. When you save the image, it's saved as Montgomery. This was our first official look at Monty. The next teaser for the new game came on May 5th, 2020, and it revealed the official title and logo for the game, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. At this point, there were a ton of new leaks happening, with a calendar
Oh my goodness, yeah.
featuring the models of the new animatronics on the front and
It's me. Ah, wow. Yeah, these are terrible looking. Not even gonna lie. I don't even know why these are still being sold. I'm gonna be honest.
Funko leaking their new Security Breach figures. So everyone already knew the title, but it was nice to see it in HD on Scott Games.
You know, I think I look better IRL. Plus with this dress, I look even more pretty, so there's that.
On June 11th, 2020, we got our next teaser for Security Breach. This time, it featured a security guard with long blonde hair and green eyes. The teaser
Yeah. Protect. Ooh.
had the word protect in purple at the bottom. A lot of people assumed that this was going to be the person helping us in Security Breach. On August 7th, 2020, we got
Yeah, I wonder if that was going to be the case at one point, but they decided against it. That could be the case.
our first look at Vanny, the bunny from FNaF
That could
VR,
have been the case anyway. Obey.
our Curse of Dread
Screw you, Benny. I don't want to ever see your face again, but I'm going to have to.
Bear. You can see the full homemade suit and a giant knife being held in her right hand. She also
I just hate Benny. That's all I got to say.
is surrounded by TVs, just like when Freddy was surrounded with TVs in the trailer for Help Wanted. The word obey is at the bottom of the teaser, which confirmed that this was the same person from Curse of Dreadbear. We got 2 more teasers for Security Breach the next day on FNAF's 6th anniversary.
Oh, so we're getting close to the end of the video here. Just like 9 more minutes left, but damn, we're getting to the late history.
They were a similar style as the Freddy poster, but now with Roxanne and Chica.
We are in the late history. Go back.
Day on FNAF's 6th anniversary. They were a similar style as the Freddy poster, but now with Roxanne and Chica. 14 days later, on August 21st, 2020, Scott Cawthon took to Reddit to announce something huge. In the Reddit post, he announced something called the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative. With this initiative, Scott was going to be personally funding a select few of the most popular FNAF fan games, including One Night at Flumpty's, Five Nights at Candy's, The Joy of Creation, Pop Goes, and a new game by FizzNom called FNAF Plus. This was
Yeah, and FNAF Plus hasn't been released just yet, but hopefully it'll be coming soon.
an amazing moment for the community and the gaming world in general. The creator of one of the most popular indie games ever is personally funding a handful of fan games and letting them be a part of the FNAF multiverse.
That is nice. Nice.
This was unheard of and a very welcome surprise to the community. If you want to
Definitely. That's definitely true.
learn more about that, I have a video on my channel called Why You Should Be Excited About the Fazbear Fanverse. I recommend you go check it out. Then, on September 16th, 2020, the entirety of the FNaF community lost their mind when this trailer was shown during the PlayStation State of Play event.
What's out there? This is not FNaF.
Or is it?
That's not FNaF.
It's been such a difficult day for
No.
all of us.
Yeah, and that was not Vanny's final voice. I think he almost is dropping a bomb. Oh no.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh no!
Okay, buddy, okay. It's just a game. Calm down. No, I'm kidding. It's a game that I'm in, so of course you can be excited. I was kidding, Dawko.
Oh my god!
There you go. Let all your excitement out. There you go.
People could not believe how good the game looked. Dawko didn't even recognize it was a FNaF game until halfway through. I also remember losing
That's funny.
my mind at this
Yeah, Security Breach is not like the other FNaF games.
trailer and thinking about how far FNaF has come over the years, or for you, the beginning of this video.
I know, right?
This was a giant moment for FNaF, and I'd say one of the biggest in FNaF's history. On November 17th, 2020, Security Breach got delayed for the first time. Scott went to Reddit to announce that the game would now be coming out in 2021 and not 2020. He explained that the game got way too big and they just need more time to finish it. He said it could have been out by Christmas, but they would have to cut content and he wasn't willing to do that. The community responded well to this because the game already looked so good and they wanted it to be the best game possible. 3 days later, that bad news was overshadowed by some great news about the FNaF movie. On November 20th, Scott made a long Reddit post titled Bad
Yeah, the movie is still not out, but, you know.
News about the FNaF movie. In this post, he went through a bunch of failed script ideas for the FNaF movie, including one called Plushies Take Manhattan. The post ended with a script called Mike, referring to Michael Afton, which was William Afton, the purple guy's son. This ended up being the screenplay they chose, and he announced that they are going to start filming in spring of 2021. This was giant.
Huh. Did they start filming the movie yet? Does anybody have an update on that? They might be starting it soon if they didn't start it yet, but they have. I'm assuming anyway.
Giant news for the FNaF community because this movie has been on and off since April of 2014. So
yeah, that's a long time.
It was so nice to finally have some good news about the project. In January of 2021, it was announced that Steelwool Studios was going to be attending an NVIDIA event where they would show progress on Security Breach. This was a public event, but you would have to sign up for it in order to watch it. People were hyped to see some new content from the game despite it being delayed 2 months prior. The event happened on January 12th, 2021, and it was in the style of a PlayStation State of Play event. The trailer featured some slow pans of—
So this was the beginning of the year? But by the end of the year is when Security Breach actually came out. I love the way that, like, I just, this is why the Pizzaplex is a good place to be, you know? And I love living here. That's all I got to say. The only thing I don't love about living here is that the fact that I have to live with Monty. Ugh, I hate Monty.
Some familiar and some—
I don't hate him, but I just don't like him.
New areas of the mall we haven't seen yet. A fair amount of the community was confused / unsatisfied with what we got, some saying that the game looked nothing like what we got in the first teaser trailer. Scott saw this reception and went to Reddit to clarify that the new footage was meant to just be a tech demo showing off new parts of the mall and that an actual trailer 2 would be coming out in March. And the trailer actually came sooner than that, on February 25th, 2021, once again during the PlayStation State of Play. The trailer—
Damn, there are a lot of trailers for this game, man.
once again blew everyone away, showing us new gameplay and cinematic shots from the game. We got our first look at the 3D models for the
Aha, there we go.
4 main animatronics, the new Sun and Moon animatronics, and Vanny. The trailer ended with the hand of a mystery animatronic. The hand looked extremely similar to a nightmare animatronic, but not 100%. Some people thought that the hand might actually belong to William Afton, brought back from the dead and into his physical form once more. On April 28th, 2021, Scott once again went to Reddit to announce that Security Breach was being delayed. He said the game would be moved from early 2021 to late 2021 and explained that it would be worth it. Scott went on to say, "I know it's disappointing, but I didn't want you all to walk away empty-handed, so I made something for the community," with a link to a game called Security Breach Fury's Rage. The main gameplay was basically a FNaF Street Fighter game featuring the main 4 animatronics from Security Breach and some weird enemies, some that we've seen from FNaF AR and—
Yeah, Wow.
Some brand new. The community loved this game from Scott and couldn't wait for Security Breach because it was looking to be the biggest FNaF game yet. In June 2021, after
Yeah, definitely, because honestly, it was definitely worth the wait. Because now I'm here to make videos for you guys.
After some information about Scott's political donations went viral on Twitter, he decided it was best for him to officially retire from game development. In his final Scott Games update, he announced that someone else would be taking up the mantle for him in the future and that he wanted to go back to making games for his kids and taking care of his family. On FNaF,
And this is when the Scott retired.
FNaF's 7th anniversary, August 8th, 2021, we got another piece of artwork from Steelwool Studios, Dawko's brand Hex announcing that they were making their own FNaF plushies, and we got a 13-minute long
Oh yeah, FNaF Hex that Dawko made, that's cool.
short film for FNaF Plus, one of the games in the Fazbear Fanverse initiative. This short film was an incredible cinematic look at what we'd be getting in the FNaF 1 remake/reimagining. On September 1st, 2021, Steelwool Studios suspiciously tweeted that their website was down and that it'd be back up soon. Once it was back up, a link to a separate website called securitybreachtv.com was added. The website looked to be the new hub for FNaF Security Breach teasers, featuring a FNaF-styled office with a giant screen in the middle. 6 days later, on September 7th, 2021, securitybreachtv.com updated and now featured a video that you could activate by pushing that Freddy button on the desk. The video was a Hanna-Barbera themed cartoon featuring
It's cool how people do these things on their websites. I can't get over that, that's cool.
Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. The cartoon showed the characters going on a road trip in a pizza delivery service van, only to be confronted by Foxy along the way. Foxy ends up getting revealed to be an animatronic, while the other characters are in shock. The video ends with a slithering thing going across the screen and a small
The
teaser
blob. It's the blob.
for a release date below the Security Breach logo. Security Breach's marketing was now in full swing. Steelwool would release 3 more of these videos over the next 6 weeks, each teasing a new character in the upcoming game. These videos all led to the final trailer being revealed at the PlayStation State of Play event on October 27th. This final trailer was miles beyond
Oh yeah, I remember this.
what anyone was expecting from the game. It featured cutscenes that had incredible animation, gameplay that looked great
Oh yes.
for the most part, and the official release date, December 16th, 2021. But most importantly of all, it featured
Music Man!
That meme, Yep.
People were more hyped than ever for the game. It looked like this game was
Nice.
then played it live on stream. And a few days before
Yep, I remember that as well.
the game came out, Dawko actually got to interview Steelwool Studios
I also remember, I think it was that exact charity live stream where he also played FNaF 3 on the day of Halloween. That was cool.
on his YouTube channel on December 12th, 2021. On December 16th, 2021, Security Breach was finally released and the game was huge. The game ended up being bigger than any of us were expecting. The game starts with a cutscene that we saw pieces of in the trailer. The cutscene ended with Freddy glitching out and falling on stage. He then wakes up in his green room with Gregory inside his stomach hatch. Thus begins a journey where Freddy tries to help Gregory escape the mall, trying to avoid
Exactly, and I'm gonna be honest, I really feel bad for Gregory. I hope we find them.
Vanny, the Night Guard, and the other animatronics that are after him. The game looked great, but it didn't come without some bugs, or a lot of bugs.
Well,
Yeah, that'll admit. But there were also a lot of bugs that have been fixed.
last parting gift, I guess.
Oh no, it's
try to get
this
in there.
clip. I literally got stuck, my head stuck in the elevator. Oh my goodness.
Beak inside of you, and you are.
Oh, this. I remember that as
Try to
well.
get in there. Whoa. Shove a beak inside of you, and you are going to be able to talk better. You're boasting.
Oh my goodness. I like how these are all Markiplier's gameplay clips.
Okay, look at that arm there.
While the game did come with some bugs, it still had a mostly positive reaction from fans. The game was pretty divisive as far as the story was concerned. It added more questions than answers and was fairly vague about why and how things were happening. This led to a lot of people posting and talking about their theories online, including one of the biggest people on YouTube, MattPat. On February 19th, 2022, MattPat held another FNaF Theory livestream on the Game Theorist
There we go.
channel with a few other YouTubers including Dawko, Tetrabit Gaming, Tom and Dan from Game Theory, Super Horror Bro, Bandit Games, and me. During the stream, we discussed our theories about what the heck happened in Security Breach, with MattPat slightly hoping that Steelwool or Scott would start giving us some hints during the stream.
We only have a couple more videos left, or a couple more minutes left in the video. Actually, literally just. Oh yeah, okay.
Just like back in 2015. But no hints ever came. It looked like we were on our own this time to try and figure out the lore of this game. Overall, Security
Yeah, Security Breach, like, literally is my favorite FNaF game, especially considering that I'm in it, but, you know.
Security Breach was a nice addition to the franchise. The bugs were annoying sometimes, but a lot of them made the game fun.
I can't get over that. Freddy running past Mark. Yeah, oh my goodness. That is so funny.
And speedrunners had a field day with them. The game birthed a bunch of new memes that blew up all over TikTok and some amazing cosplay from the community. After a few months, Steel Studios started making updates to the game, adding features that were meant to be there on launch and fixing a bunch of the bugs. And here we are today. The FNaF movie never ended up filming in spring of 2021, but Jason Blum is continually reassuring us on Twitter that it's still coming. FNaF is getting its own pizza delivery service. There are
I completely forgot about that. When is that supposed to be here?
over 25 FNaF books at this point, with a new series called Tales from the Pizzaplex currently being released. The Fazbear Fanverse initiative is still in full swing with the recent release of Pop Goes Arcade on Steam. Dawko is creating his own line of FNaF plushies with his brand Hex. The Living Tombstone released their first FNaF song in years with This Comes From Inside. And Steel Studios officially announced free DLC for Security Breach coming out in 2023. FNaF started as Scott's final project before giving up game development for good. He took the bad reviews he was getting and ran with them, creating one of the biggest game franchises in the world. And
exactly, and honestly, I'm thankful for that.
8 years later, it's still going strong. This was the entire history of Five Nights at Freddy's. Thanks for watching.
And that's the video! Oh my goodness, that was a lot, man. That was a lot. But damn. I've been recording for a long time. Like, this video is gonna be over 2 hours long. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's it for me for now, y'all. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. And damn, I gotta say once again, happy Valentine's Day to all of you. I love all of you guys. I truly do. You guys are amazing. Thanks so much for the support on the channel. I really very much appreciate it. Much love, and I guess that's it for me for now. So remember to stay awesome, and remember, I am the best.